Much love, respect, and appreciation. It's been about a good 4 to 5 days. It's been a long time, guys, and we are back with another live stream as titled, This is Why We Can't Get Along. So, we're going to have a few stories directly up here to further prove that point of why it is that we can't get along in the United States, why it is that we can't get along with each other. So, now we'll start with this one.
There's too many coincidences. Me and my friend, right? We come to Philly, right, for a little girls trip. We come to the box bar, make a little charm bracelet because we friends. So we walk in, nobody greet us. Okay, that's fine. They look, and okay, we go over by where the necklaces are. We looking at the charms. The ladies over there don't say a thing.
They paying us.
They no mind. They get no mind.
We sitting stuff like. I'm just like, okay, let's turn around. We see another pairing of people come in. Coincidentally, one of them had fair skin, and they get a hello, ladies. How y'all doing?
They go over by the necklaces. They get another hello, ladies. Let me get you started.
Stood there for a minute, looking at necklaces, still getting no attention paid to us.
So nasty and so rude.
Hi everyone, I'm Robin. I'm the owner of Box Bar. I wanted to take a few minutes to address a situation that happened in our store yesterday. I did write down a few notes, so I apologize, but this is extremely important and I did not want to miss anything. As you may have already seen on TikTok, 2 women came into our store and had an experience that left them feeling unwelcome and racially discriminated against. To those women who made the TikTok and to the entire Black community, I want to say that I am deeply sorry. I am deeply sorry for the harm that our actions caused. That's not the experience I want our customers to have, and I know that I failed you this weekend. This is not what our store is about and has never been about. We created Box Bar to be an escape for everyone.
This is my problem. Why is it every single time that white people mess up, they want to come directly out to social media? Hey, to the Black community, I just want to say that this is not what we're about. We're not really racist. We're not really discriminatory. We're sorry that, that happened. It wasn't supposed to. That's, not in our training manual. That's not how we teach any of our workers. As soon as they know that Black people already made a video about it, they're like, man, this is really going to cut into our money. This is going to really cut into the bottom line. We got to hurry up and get that scripted apology real quick. Like I said, she didn't mean none of this. She didn't mean none of this at all. And me, and again, these were women that went through this, right? Back when we had Suncoast, there was a place called Suncoast, and it was located in the mall. Whenever I would go into the mall, it would just be like me and my friend. Me and my friend Will went into the mall out there at Fairlane. This is talking about Detroit for anybody that's from Detroit. Much love, respect, and appreciation, right? So went out to Fairlane Mall, went out to Suncoast, and Suncoast normally has, anime type stuff and whatnot or whatever, right? So we go directly in there, and I'm looking just through the different like anime sections, movie sections, and it's only probably about 4 to 5, maybe like 4 to 5 workers, and my friend Will and I, and then maybe one other customer, right? Not sure how long they even stayed in there. I'm going through and looking around the store, and continuously, like maybe let's say like every 4, maybe 5 minutes, as I'm venturing around the store looking at stuff, you got people like, hey, you need any help, need any assistance? Is there anything I could, help you with? Is there anything I could look up? Dog, I don't need your help. If I did, I would come directly to, the register, and I would ask for somebody to assist me, or I would come, seek you out. But like I said before, this is what Black people, Black Americans have to go through in the United States. Because for whatever reason, whenever people are trained, they're trained to only go after and to specifically watch black people when they come directly through their stores, right? They're not trained to watch everybody else. Because how people are trained is like, okay, well, you know, we have losses, you know, shrink, all this other type of stuff, and you know, the main people that come in here are still are black. That's what they like to put out there. But when you actually look at the statistics, you look all across the country. I'm talking about in the Appalachians. You look in these super white communities. You look in the higher percentile where black people are barely even a percentage. You'll see who is really stealing in the United States. But again, this is how people are trained. But this is going to come, you know, right back to this point that I'm explaining right now in a few videos. So let's keep going.
Now, a story real quick. This ties into my video where I was talking about how people need black people to be here, okay? And this is why they freak out when we talk about separating and leaving.
Actually, it was this story.
Because they've been using our presence to slide, you know, under the radar and maneuver through the system because everybody focused on us. Now, y'all know how we are boycotting Target right now, right? But I happen to live in close proximity to a Target. You know what I've been observing lately? I've been observing a lot of non-black people being arrested for shoplifting. Way more than I've ever seen before, right? Why is that? Let me tell you why. Because black people are boycotting Target and not in Target as much, loss prevention is not stalking black people, right? They're not having the cameras in their eyes and their loss prevention people trained on following black people around and watching black people. So now they got to watch the other people that are coming in there. And since watching the other people that are coming in there, they keep catching them shoplifting and stealing. Something that they were missing before, okay? They was getting hit, plenty of companies, plenty of stores, right? Embezzling, the books, all of that stuff. Even when you look at crime, right? A lot of people get away with crime because they ain't black. The police and all of them, the criminal justice system, so focused on watching black people, and they don't see the other people that are doing, you know, negative things, right? So the withdrawing of our presence is very powerful because now they got to focus on something else. And these other people know that if we are not here, they're going to start catching them. They're going to start seeing them, okay? So it's not just the fact of, you know, if we're not here, they're going to pick another target, which they're going to do too. But they're also going to start seeing other people and watching other people and clocking other people. And many houses of cards can come falling down when that happens.
Everything that she stated is 100% facts. And the funniest thing is, for the longest time possible, I never really actually thought about this out of all of the reporting, out of all of the videos that I've ever done. I never really thought for a second that, yo, these people realistically also want us around for nefarious reasons so that they can, you know, skate by, so that they can decide to steal, because they know if they have a cover, aka black people being in the store, that their own people, that these corporations, these businesses, right, the security guards and the cops, they're only going to solely look for black people stealing. They're only loss prevention. They're going to only follow the black people around. Like, oh, I know they're up to no good. Let me. Oh, the way to dress. Oh, they came in with a bit. I'm about to just sit up there and follow them. I know I got one. But then you got umpteen white people there, rolling through there, just like stealing whatever, and just literally leaving out the store. So, like I said before, I would actually advocate for black people to boycott a lot more businesses. I would actually advocate for black people to just buy stuff directly online. Allow a lot of these businesses to have all of their white consumers and many other people roll directly through there. You can sit up there and shop online, but a lot of white people and everybody else to roll through those stores. And let's see the people that's going to sit up there and get arrested. Let's see what's going to let's see what's going to sit up there and happen. Because I've literally watched videos and I've worked again in a store, so I know about loss prevention, shrink, and all of the other type of good stuff. And a lot of the people that just so happen to be stealing from that store, they were nowhere even close to black. They were white, and these were people that got money. So explain that to me. Explain that to me. How is it possible that you could be white, have all of the money in the world, and you come into a store to sit up there and steal something that probably costs about $10, $15, $30? What's going on? You got all of that money and you got to sit up there and still, you got enough money where you can literally probably like buy shares of a business and get stuff for free, or however that stuff works. There's a multitude of things that you can do in order to get stuff for free, but you opt not to do any of those things. You want to roll directly into the store to steal something. That's crazy. That is some crazy work. And the other thing I would love for a lot of these businesses to do is to start posting all of the people that they catch. Because for whatever reason, when you look at the news, they only primarily want to show black people. And black people don't even make up a large percentage of the population in the United States at all. Even when it deals with shoplifting, if you look at the FBI statistics, black people are not up there. Our names are not hanging from the rafters. It's not us. It is not us. It's everybody else, but it's not us. But again, when it deals with the media, mainstream media and alike, these are the things that they want to portray. They want to show black people just out there. They're the only ones stealing and committing every single crime known to man in the United States. And everybody else is just a godsend. They're angels directly out here. They're not doing anything wrong. Let's continue.
I heard Derek Williamson. He had a farm. He was doing a ministry. He wanted to raise animals and stuff. And he invited this family that looked like this right here to come in and, let him stay with him. He was being nice. Then they tried to take over his property. They actually stole it from him. Yeah, this family right here, that's James Hardy right there. And that's his other daughters. And that's Derek. I mean, they assaulted him. They lied on him. The judges were siding with them and stuff because they're already millionaires. But they wanted to steal his farm because they didn't want him to have it. Ain't that how it is? And then their daughter, Jordan, she made fun of him and made fun of his brother when his brother had passed away.
You're not going to disrespect my dead brother. You're not going to disrespect my dead brother.
Chris Key is dead.
Stop!
There's nothing you can do about it. He's dead. He's gone. He's probably in hell.
Let me walk away before I leave.
Yeah, all that taunting and everything. But you know how karma works. You know that plane that went down in Georgia? Yeah, it happened on Saturday. Both her parents, the ones who stole the property, the ones who lied continuously on Derek, the ones who sit up there and harassed him, the ones who sit up there and did all this evil stuff. Okay, bye.
So I just wanted to re-put that in because I actually did place that into a video that I uploaded to you guys recently. So shout out to anybody who went through and watched, those videos. Much love, respect, and appreciation. But yeah, somebody has to explain to me, white people, why is it that y'all like stealing land? Let me just rewind this real quick. This young black man has his own farmland. You see that smile, you see how ecstatic, how happy he is, right? He got his bird directly right there. He got his own farm. That's a young man, young black man. Right? And he was nice enough, right? Because this is how God created black Americans, right? He was nice enough to sit up there and allow these folks. I'm not sure what they were going through or what was taking place, but he was nice enough. He was selfless enough to allow these folks, these pale pagan Christian extremists, directly into his home, right? And then, as we found out in the video, these people got money, so it's not like they were without, right? So I'm not sure what type of fairy tale, what type of story that they did or how this, in a sense, went about, but he allowed them directly onto his land to just, be there. And slowly but surely, these same exact people took his kindness for weakness. And they were actively trying to steal his land, trying to take that from him because they felt that he doesn't need it. They felt that he doesn't deserve it. They felt that, hey, we're white. We're, God's ordained people. We're on this land. We're going to Columbus and claim this land just like we've claimed everything else. And I want people to understand that we're not talking about the 1920s. We're not talking about the 30s. We're not talking about the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, like a lot of people like to say, like, oh, why are you guys so stuck on the past, slavery and all of this stuff? None of these people are around. Well, I guess what? His parents, this girl's parents are no longer around. How about that one? They're no longer around. These land thieves, land grabbers, these Columbusers. Yeah. This is all your bloodline. This is what y'all like to do. And in 2024, 2025, this is recent times where your own people wanted to do this to a young black man who was nice enough to open up his land and his home directly to your folks. And y'all decided that y'all wanted to try to roll up and steal his land. But like I told y'all before, and I've been saying for years, guess what? Karma is the greatest equalizer, because this is not the first time that I showcase one of your own doing something crazy and then losing, disappearing, for lack of a better word. Shout out to you too, because I gotta watch how I talk. Disappearing, right? There was a shorter white woman, right? She was racist as all get out, and she was being racist towards this young Muslim girl, right? And her friends, calling her all types of names, saying all types of derogatory stuff, and just verbal all over the place, right? That same woman, this was years ago, same woman ended up losing her life because she stepped into traffic and, a fire truck was magically there. And it was like, oops, right? So she's no longer there, right? And that's because of the villainry, right? It's because of the mentality that she had. That's because of the energy that she carried. Again, this has to deal with karma, something that you guys don't actually understand, but you will soon experience, right? So the exact same thing happened to this family, right? It was a plane that they were on, and it went down, right? They just, gone. And then this one here just decided that she wanted to make a mockery of this young man's brother not being here anymore. Well, guess what, sweetheart? Your parents are no longer here. How about that? 2 birds with 1 stone. How about that? It's diabolical work. It's crazy. It's crazy. So to a lot of the Caucasians, Caucanites directly out there, I want y'all to just reassess your. Actually, no, I don't want you to reassess. I don't want y'all to fix nothing. Be exactly who it is that you are. Be emboldened by the government, by the administration that is here, and let your racist, colonial, colonizing, male madness flag fly. Just go ahead and do that. Because inevitably what's going to sit up there and happen is that karma is going to strike you. And the main thing that I set up there and told you before, right? Now, karma didn't, in a sense, directly get her, right? But it got her parents. Both of them. 1 stone, 2 birds. So now she has to deal with the aftermath. Because her mouth sat up there and, tried to write a check. She couldn't cash. And that's what happened. Because she couldn't cash it, she was in debt. And the Ripper was like, well, this is a nice sum. You wrote quite a few numbers on here. Let's see if we can calculate that for you. Your bank account is empty. You got 2 parents? They're still here? How many years they got left? You know what? I'll take this. I got you. No problem. We'll take the parents. Woo! Oh man. I bet you it's going to be a quiet house. Mom is going to be the word. It's going to be real quiet. I bet you she ain't going to utter nothing. I bet you the amount of rage and anger that both of those women have at this moment in time couldn't even explain it to you, couldn't even fathom. But it's well deserved. It's well deserved. I hope amongst the screams that they have internally when they're dealing with having to go to the gravesite of their parents, I hope they, while touching that ground, they also feel the pain, the agony, and the screams of all the other people that their people have caused harm, inexplainable harm to. The amount of land that you've stolen, the amount of lives that you've erased. I hope that you get that quote unquote ghostwriter penance stare, and you have to take in all of that while you're trying to remember your parents for, whatever good people that you think that they were. And I hope that happens to the rest of the white Americans directly out here. Hope you guys suffer. I'm just going to be real. There's no other way I can sit up there and put it. Karma is going to sit up there and come, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do with it. But I know because you're not able to suffer in that existence by yourself, you're going to try to bring everybody else with you. And I want you to understand and know that this is a one-way ticket. It is a one-way trip, and it is just meant solely for that person. So no matter how you try to make everybody else, aka Black Americans here, suffer because you know you're going to suffer far worse, it's not going to measure. But good luck and nice try though. Good game. Try again in your next reincarnation. But let's continue. Also, much love, respect, and appreciation to everybody that's currently in the chat at this moment in time. Much love, respect, and appreciation. We also had to get rid of some of the trolls directly in the building saying some nonsense. So if my mods don't catch you, I will sit up there and catch you, and you will be added directly to the block list. We're not playing those games today. So who else did we have directly up here? Because I could have sworn somebody had some type of a question, but I don't feel like rolling directly up there. But let's continue.
And I'll say it again, there is no such thing as Black British food. There's no such thing as Black British culture. There is only African culture or Caribbean culture in Britain. You guys let Keith Lee come to London, eat beans on toast, eat a kebab with garlic mayo on it, have a fryer from a hotel. Then my man went back to America and said British food is disgusting, and you guys are losing your minds like he's not right. I mean, can you really compare cottage pie and sausage and mash, bangers and mash to soul food, American soul food, Black American food? You can't, because they have a right to have a thing called Black American culture and Black American food, whereas there is no such thing as Black British food or Black British culture. There is only African or Caribbean culture or African or Caribbean cuisine in Britain. And even when we do cook the British foods, we all know we put a little black spin on it. We don't cook it the same way the white people do. So why you guys are choosing that this is the hill you want to die on in the comment section is beyond me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. No such thing as Black British culture. You guys cannot compare yourself to the Americans because they have a much deeper history of being Black Americans in America. We don't have that. We do not have that. There is no Black British culture or Black British food. There is only African or Caribbean food in Britain. Stop this delusion, man.
So, like I said before, and shout out, as I normally sit up there and state, shout out to the ones that have common sense, that are working with logic. They're not working within emotions, as I currently see directly on TikTok, because there's fields. Like the one video I showcased to y'all where the white dude was like, thank you, Black Americans, because you guys have single-handedly brought together all of the UK. Which means that if it took for Black Americans to bring you guys together, that means you guys are divided. That means that there's some type of racism, bigotry, and discrimination, even though people like to say the opposite. People want to say like, oh, well, when you look in America, there's far more racism than there is, in the UK. We don't even have any here. I'm like, you're a lie, because I've literally covered videos. But like I said before, if people want to be ignorant of racism because they're deep, and I mean deep, into interracial dating, and because of that magically nobody sees color, so be it. I wipe my hands of it. No problem. Go ahead and do you, right? But again, like this man said, when you have the Africans and the Caribbeans come to the UK, you only have their food. There's not a Black or a type of national culture thing of their food. That's not how that works, and nor would the UK even allow that. They're not going to allow that. You're going to be steadily eating the exact same foods that they were eating back during World War I and World War II. That's it. The struggle meals, the struggle upon struggle upon struggle upon struggle. And then the one video that I brought directly to you guys is the fact that the white guy that wanted to explain about how it is that Americans are eating this and that, and we have all of these chemicals and stuff in our taste buds and da. People forget that we actually cook. I'm like, they like, this is like, the ignorance is astonishing that a lot of people in the UK who have really, they've only traveled through like Europe and stuff. They've never really come to the United States. So they don't even understand how vast and how large the United States is. They don't even understand it. Right. And that's just the first part right there. While a lot of them like to sit up there and say that we're dumb, we don't know this. They don't understand that the UK can just fit within comfortably within the United States with no problem. And we're not skipping or missing a beat. Right. On top of the fact that we can go to the market or we can go to a farmer's market, right? Or even some of us, we have our own farmland or gardens where we grow our own vegetation, vegetables, all of that good stuff. We take it directly from the land into the house and start chefing it up. I'm not listing preservatives. I'm not listing extra chemicals and all this. None of that. This is all natural, straight directly from the ground. But like I said before, because of the lack of education, because of the ignorance that is directly there, because a lot of people want to be like, oh, we're just vastly superior because our food is this, that, and the third. And ain't nothing vastly superior. I ain't never. Let me explain something to y'all real quick, just in case y'all ain't never see these videos. You got over there in the UK Chinese food that comes with French fries and quote unquote Chinese gravy. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Now, let me explain. Right now, over here in the United States, if I happen to, go to a Chinese place and get some food, I'll get my normal wings and I'll get fries. That's, just some normal type stuff. That's just, whatever. This dude had like some lo mein. He had some other type of like mushrooms and other stuff directly on there. He had a large plate of fries and pork gravy all over that. I don't know what that. I've never even heard of Chinese gravy. I'm just going to be real to you. And I've eaten at Chinese places since I've existed. And I've never sat up there and seen Chinese gravy. And then they had like some other type of dessert that was on there, something that is not here in America. Like I said, I don't know what the UK be sitting up here doing. Like I said, much love. Much love to those out there in the UK. But again, when you look at the food that Black Americans have, and you compare that to the UK food, and I'm just talking about soul food. I ain't talking about no other type of. I ain't talking about like no fast food restaurants and nothing, no other restaurants, no McDonald's, no bar. I ain't even talking about none of that. I'm talking about just Black food that Black Americans created, right? Since we've been here, like case in point, soul food. Yes, there is not a comparison at all. There is not a comparison. Not a comparison. But like I said before, when you go on Twitter, and this is the whole thing, the reason why a lot of them are mad is because Keith Lee, and if people know who Keith Lee is, first of all, I want to sit up there and say that the brother does have hands legally. He does have hands. He's done mixed martial arts. He's done his bouts. So his hands are certified. He is able to use those hands. That's why he moves comfortably with no type of problem, right? And this is why also people don't be trying to roll up to him, trying to start nothing, because again, he has trained. Secondly, the brother just opted at a point in time. He was like, yo, I'm about to just start, critiquing foods. And he grew this into a big thing directly over the years where he traveled all across the United States, right? And Keith Lee, primarily when he was in the United States and he was looking at a lot of different foods, he would start to have problems primarily with Black people. The Black restaurant owners and whatnot would not like his critiques. They would have issues. There's been other issues where Keith Lee has given money and then that money has not been distributed to the place that it was supposed to be distributed to, and many other things. And then on top of that, you got Black people online that want to, start saying this and that about Keith Lee and all this other type of stuff, right? Again, your own people. I said years ago, I'm like, yo, I love Keith Lee. And I do believe in supporting Black businesses and stuff like this. But again, you can't help out everybody. And I said that Keith Lee should, either try to get up with Food Network or something like that, right? So he can go to other places around the world, or he should just, on his own dime, not sure how much, it will cost, not sure what his net worth is. But if he can, he should just start going around the world and just doing it that way. right? Because like I said before, I'm just going to be real. I am all for the safety of Keith Lee and his family, nor do I want anything to sit up there and happen to them at all. So this is why I would advocate for him to go elsewhere and to critique and to talk about foods. Because the way that he would get treated in the United States by his own people has already been shown. A lot of people, a lot of black people don't happen to respect people, when it is that they're doing certain things. They want to find some type of problem issue. They want to start rah, 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 and all this other type of good stuff. But again, if it was somebody white doing it, like an Anthony Bourdain or something critiquing like these black foods, black people ain't about to be rah, 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 and all this other type of good. Like I said, people act different when it's other people. So again, just sitting up here saying this is something that I've said a while ago. Just saying. Let me. You said Caribbeans are blacks, not American Negroes. Why are the only ones associated with soul food, soul music, and soul? We represent the deep of God's face and deep go figure. They insult us otherwise. Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Nikolic, what is up? What is up? Said, I'm from Europe and chickens are full of antibiotics. Cow milk with aflatoxins, vegetables with pesticides, and everything organic is expensive. Now, see, the funniest thing is, now shout out to you. Not sure where it is over there in Europe that you're from, but shout out to you and your people out there. Stay safe. Start growing your own food if possible. If you got a large enough land to start, I would advocate for start growing, your own food and different things so that your kids and you don't have to take in those pesticides and all those other type of things. But a lot of people, when you go on TikTok and you go on a lot of these places, you're not going to have a lot of people state over there that their foods are filled with a lot of these things. A lot of people like, no, it's just America. America's the only place where, they're chemically, poisoning and doing all these other types of things to the food and, to the poultry and the beef and yada, yada, yada. Right. Now, again, I already know that American food is poisonous. I already know if Australia is in a sense the place where everything that is living is meant to kill you. America is a place where everything that they make for you to eat is meant to kill you slowly. Like that's how it works, right? That's pretty much how it works. But yeah, it's crazy out here. It is 100% crazy out here. But yeah, again, shout out to this man here over there in the UK being honest and respectful and working with logic. Let's continue.
This is crying to me like, what? Y'all, while watching, so boom, I give them their food, right? I give them food. Immediately right after me. Let me speed up this in and out the food process. Of course, he can criticize that. Okay, we're continuing.
It's going to sound a little bit muddled because there was music playing, so you got to edit that stuff, copyright reasons, for it just in case. But I made sure to put the captions directly up there, so that's pretty much how you have to. Can we even zoom in? Sort of, kind of, right? So, lady up in there, she looked like she just rolled up out of bed. Big back activities right now, right? So she rolled up out of bed. She got on 2 thin jackets and probably a t-shirt because there's a hoodie right above. And then on top of that, she wearing a bonnet, right? Directly in a restaurant. And this is at a C because that was the queue, right? So the whole thing was like, okay, ask her for a refill and then she'll run back and go get the refill. And then we're going to start walking out with the food. Again, this is big back activity. I'm a person that loves to eat. I'm not big by any means necessary, but I've been able to out eat a lot of my other friends that are larger than me. I'm talking about like there might be like 250, maybe going towards like 300, at a moment in time, right? And I was able to put away more food than them. Never at a point in time in my life ever going to a restaurant or anything did I ever think like, oh, okay, well, I want this food. I'm hungry, but I really didn't come with enough money, nor did I plan on paying. So we're going to make, some type of distraction so we can just run off with the food. Never in my life have I ever done it. And I love food. I love food technically almost beyond anything else. I ain't never do any madness like this. This is severe big back well activity. This is diabolical at best. This is crazy work. This is some crazy work. Like, I ain't never in my life. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And she just sitting up there smiling. Look like she might even had a BBL done. This is all types of crazy. That clown right there, that's the one that left the phone. Let me go back. Go right back. Cause let me. That's crazy. They all look like thieves. I'm just gonna be real. I don't care how it sounds. I'm like, you in a restaurant with your hoodie on. You're in an establishment where it's clearly it's light there. You're not at a club or nothing. You're in the whole restaurant with your hoodie on. I'm just gonna be real. I need all of these restaurants to require patrons to put their hoods down. I'm sorry. Because these people right here, this couldn't have been my business. Like, bro, I am getting your license plate. I am going to find your Facebook, every single social media. I'm going to have your pictures blown up and posted throughout the building. I'm going to put your pictures directly on the website to let everybody know that y'all thieves. That anywhere you go, you have a high potentiality. I'm talking about in the 99.9% percentile to sit up there and steal. Because that's crazy to me. What are we doing? You that broke. So you don't know how to cook? Obviously not, because I'm looking at the weight of some of these people out here. And obviously a lot of people don't believe in cooking at home. This is why the obesity rates are so high directly out here. It is ridiculous. Because let me go back. Where the first woman at? I know for a fact. Let me roll her back. I know for a fact that woman is not cooking at home. She ain't cooking at home. I'm just gonna be real. That's crazy. That's crazy. And this is another reason why people be sitting up there looking at black people strange. Because you got incidences like this where people just want to go in like a whole family deep, 5, 6 plus deep, and y'all want to sit up here and do stuff like this. Crazy. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. But let's continue.
This is Haley Morgan. Her and her husband own a rental property, and their tenant of 2 years decided to move out. So they found 2 new tenants to rent the property to, who decided to sign their lease and move in on Super Bowl Sunday of 2025. So these are the tenants. Kathleen Kennedy, who is a DHL supply chain human resources employee. And then we have Caitlin Poor. She is an emergency medicine physician assistant at Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, and she also attended Ohio State University.
We got
names. Immediately
names.
after Caitlin and Kathleen moved in, they had a long list of demands that they wanted Mrs. Morgan and Mr. Morgan to meet, and to accommodate them, they did everything they could to meet the demands, including removing the popcorn ceiling. They also messaged Mrs. Morgan saying, "Hey, we clogged the toilet with human feces, and we need you to take care of it." No questions asked. She sent her husband to take care of it. So within a week of living there, these 2 people decided that they just didn't want to live there anymore. They decided that their list of demands weren't being met and that they wanted their money back, and they wanted to break the lease and move out. So rather than argue with them, Mrs. Morgan and Mr. Morgan were like, you know what? No harm, no foul. We'll let you break the lease, but we're not giving you the money back for the 1 week that you lived here. And we're definitely not giving back the security deposit until we come check out the property to make sure everything is squared away. So that upset them, and they started hurling racial slurs at Mr. and Mrs. Morgan, verbally and through text message. So that's when Mr. Morgan decided to tell Mrs. Morgan, hey, I don't feel comfortable with them. I think I ought to check out the property on Friday just to make sure everything is on the up and up. And so he sent them a text message saying, hey, at 2 o'clock, I'm going to come through, check out the property. And that's exactly what he did. And everything looked good. So the next thing you know, Mrs. Morgan gets a call. I believe it was either that Monday or that Sunday. She gets a call from the neighbor of the property that they rented out, that they used to live at. And they were good friends with the neighbor. And the neighbor was like, hey, there's a lot of water coming off of your property. I don't know if it's rain, but I'm suspecting it's not. It looks like there might be a water leak inside the home. Could you guys come and check it out? And she was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay. 2 minutes later, she gets a call from HOA. HOA report the same thing and was like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but you guys need to get here. You need to get here quick. So when they got there, this is what they saw. They saw a flood of water coming out of their apartment. At that point, this is when Mrs. Morgan decides to ask the neighbors, does anybody know where the tenants are? And they were like, yeah, the tenants moved. They left last night with like 20 movers, and they had like moving trucks, and they were in a frenzy. They were literally trying to hurry up and get out of there. They
notice
were loading
water
stuff in the
is
truck, and
leaking
they were
out the
out
resident.
of there quick. They approached the door, and this is what they saw. They saw just water just streaming down the door. And this is the entrance.
So let me just pause it right here. So let me just speed this up just for some people that might have just made it in here. So this black married couple was renting out an apartment, right? And they rented it out to these two white women who obviously have jobs because they got their LinkedIn and everything like that. The white women were there for a minute, and then they were like, okay, we don't want to be here, or however it is that they wanted to frame it, right? So they were like, okay, well, we will allow you to break your lease. The married couple, they were like, okay, we'll allow you to break your lease, but you're not getting back the security deposit or, the rent that you basically pay for that month, but we will allow you to break that security deposit, right? And the white women basically got mad. They got irate, and they did the normal white woman behavior. They decided to flood the apartment. They decided to destroy something that was not initially theirs. So now we are coming to the picture, which is going to be a video after I press play, and you can clearly see water is on those wooden floors. If the water is that high and it's that clear for you to be able to see, that place is totally ruined. You're going to have the floors are going to be warped. You're going to have mold. You're going to have to replace everything. You're going to have to tear that place bare. You're going to have to strip it and have it fully redone, because these colonizing fools were mad that they weren't able to get their money after they already paid to basically get a lease, already put down a security deposit, and set up there and put down the first month rent. This is why you're not getting back that money. But better yet, I want them sued. For matter of fact, before I even go further, let me let her finish.
Entrance of the home. The entrance of the home looks like it's flooded. It literally looks like a lazy river. So essentially, Kathleen and Caitlin decided to cut the pipes on the toilets and the bathrooms. So both toilets, they decided to cut the pipes. They left the water on, and they allowed it to flood the house. And as you can see, the property is ruined.
Look at that.
Literally damaged.
Water
the paint,
damage.
the floors, everything. The house is so ruined that they can't even enter the property at this point. So let's do what we know how to do, and let's try to make them famous. Remember, Caitlin Poor, who works at Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist. And then we have Kathleen Kennedy, Human Resources at DHL Supply Chain. We love to make people famous.
And that's what I'll be talking about. You have a black couple that was like, yo, we're just trying to, make some extra money, and we're trying to use, either a space that they had or a space that they bought, whatnot, or whatever, right? The American dream. And the colonizers come directly in just to ruin something that black people got going. So let's see here. So we already had one instance of a young black man that owns farmland, and you had the colonizers come through and try to take his land, his own farmland that he has. He was nice enough to open up his doors and whatnot to allow them there, and the family were trying to actively steal his land. They got millions of dollars, but they're actively trying to take something that does not necessarily belong to them at all, because they don't want that black man to have it, right? And then they inexplainably, pass away in a plane crash. It's crazy how that works. And now we got two white women that have very nice jobs, deciding that they want to destroy somebody else's property. Wow. Look at these homeless deviants moving from place to place. That's crazy. And I'm pretty sure that apartment has more than likely had more washes, showers, and baths than those two women combined, because we know how a lot of people's hygiene is directly out here. It's crazy work. Crazy work, diabolical. Send the DNA. But like I said, we're looking at destruction at this moment in time. How they rode directly in there, had a problem, raged out, and decided to do this. Wow. And then they knew that they were going to destroy that place, so they came through with movers at night to hurry up and get all of their stuff out of there. That's how you know they were up to no good. People don't normally move at night like that. If people are moving at night, something is wrong. Something is happening. You got 2 white women doing this? Ain't nobody after you. Ain't nobody after you. So that means, hey, they're up to no good. Like I said, as soon as you saw the door, you saw condensation coming from the top of the door, just streaming down. Let me go back to the front of the street. If I can even find it at this moment, let me see. Because at one point in time in the video, look at that. Look at that. All of that water coming directly from that home into the street. So you know that this has been going on for hours. You know that that water was running for hours. And they more than likely hit both bathrooms. So there's probably a downstairs bathroom on the first floor and then an upstairs bathroom on the second floor. Think about all that damage to both floors. The house is done. And then is this a connected residence? This is also a connected residence. So there's no telling if any of that water might have trickled into or potentially gotten to somebody else's home some way, somehow. And what type of damages that may lead to or growths of mold. Like I said, take everything from them. Leave nothing. Take everything from them. Leave nothing. I want them jobless. I want them on true government assistance. I want them, what did Drake sit up there and say? I started from the bottom. I want them restarting actually from the bottom. I'm talking about from below ground, like an earthworm jump. Start digging directly through there just to sit up there and reach sunlight. Everything stripped of them, all valuables, all jewelry, all assets. I want their bank accounts drowned. And not only that, I want them then prosecuted and thrown directly in jail for a nice extended time. Because this is crazy. That's 100% crazy. Because there will be no way in the world that you would have a black family or black people do this to somebody's residence and then they just make it scot-free. Oh no, the police would have already been there. The police would have had spider sense. It would have went off instantly. It's like, I think something's happening at building, 34 at such and such street. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I sense some blacks moving about, right? And they would have just been there, 5 deep. Can we help you guys? You guys are moving? Let me see your lease agreement. I need you guys to sit right there for me. I need some ID. I need the lease agreements. I need any other types of. Matter of fact, we're gonna put you guys under arrest up until we can figure this thing out. That's what they would have did. Because matter of fact, I have a video, right, where it was an older black gentleman, an elder, retired veteran, moving into his house, and he's the only one moving, right? He was moving the whole day. And note, this is an older man. He's probably in the 60s or whatnot or whatever. He's moving into his house the whole day. And the police roll up on him at about dark 30 in the morning. And they proceed to sit up there and ask him, what are you doing here? Whose van is this? Whose stuff is this? Whose house is this? Oh, matter of fact, you sit tight. No. Matter of fact, don't even sit tight. We're going to put you under arrest for the moment. And then we're going to go and check the premises because this just looks suspicious to us. It's like nobody just moves in at this time of night into a house and there's all this stuff here. No, this can't be yours. And then the police sat up there and found out that, oh, this is actually his house. They found all the paperwork and everything. And then they wanted to make an excuse to sit up there and say like, oh, well, what ended up actually happening is because we had a lot of break-ins in the area. And then when the one cop said it, you heard one of the other cops kind of laugh about it because he know that he was BSing. He know that he was lying. It had to do with the fact that he was black moving into that neighborhood. Ain't no 60-year-old, 70-year-old black dude that's sitting up there moving. He ain't about to be trying to rob. Word. So he's going to sit up there and try to clear out somebody's whole house and put it into a van. Like I said, America has some of the dumbest cops in existence at this moment in time. And when I say dumb, I also mean racist as well. I also mean ignorant as well. Yeah. But like I said, obviously those cops, they didn't show up here. They didn't show up here. Even if you had some black cops that sat up there and spotted these two women moving at night, you know what they would have did? Oh, you guys are moving? Let us stand by. Let us stand by to make sure everything is safe, make sure, nothing's, that's what would have happened. That's what would have happened. It wouldn't have been no interrogation. It wouldn't have been no action for identification, no ID, no nothing, none of that. But like I said before, whenever you just so happen to tell people about these things that are going on in the United States, people want to, America's not racist. The same type of thing happens to white people and many other people. Why do you guys have to sit up and make it about race? Because it is about race. Happy National Black History Month. It is about race. It 100% is about race. That's exactly how America was built. That's how it was formed. That is within the fabric, but yet y'all trying to erase that like it was just kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Nah, it wasn't like that. It never was. It never was. It's like whatever you can't steal, you destroy. Whatever you can't destroy, you steal. Those are the only two options. There is no in between. That's all you know and all you are. Yes. Like I said before, I hope they lose everything. I hope they 100% lose everything. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. Joe was like, I love black and white people. I don't care. I didn't even ask for that. There's no white people here that are. This is not TikTok where you just simply make a video. Hey, white people, I just have one question. Do you want to be this? This is not that. You are on the wrong live stream. You are on the wrong live stream for that, buddy. We are not doing that. We are not asking for white people to sit up there and love us like us. This is not that. You might want to move that directly over there to TikTok. I'm just saying. Just saying. I like I said, I don't understand why people have to sit up there and even put a notification out there because nobody asked, nobody was searching. Because I'm pretty sure if the white people that you're saying that you love as well, I'm pretty sure they would have searched you out by now and they would have found you. I'm just saying that's a little bit crazy to me. I don't care if it's a robot or not. To anybody else that want to write something stupid up there like that, go ahead and be stupid. Set yourself free. So I can clown you real quick. Let's continue.
Story that they don't want me to tell because history books want you to think something totally different. When you read about the Night Riders of the Klan, they think everybody was scared of them. They think that black folks was terrorized and we were run and hide and scream. Let me tell you a little story that you probably never heard of. In 1960, there was a group of black men in Bogalusa, Louisiana. They were military veterans that came home and they went toe-to-toe with the Klan. Never ran. When they protested, they got in their face, went back and forth. They protected the community. These men were called Deacons of Defense of Justice. These men, the Klan, was scared of these black men. Literally, they feared them. They patrolled the neighborhoods, the black communities, because the police wouldn't do it. These men were so powerful that they used their military skills to protect their black community. The Deacons of Defense and Justice was so powerful that when Martin Luther King used to have protest marches, a lot of the police department wouldn't protect them or provide them security. The deacons of defense stepped in and provided security. People, you're not going to hear about this because society wants you to think we feared and we were scared and cowards. That's not true. Look them up. Deacons of Defensive Justice, Buckaloo, Louisiana. They were so powerful that they started doing, they had chapters in Mississippi and Alabama, but they started here in Louisiana. And people, these black men didn't run from the Klan. There's pictures of them in their face going toe to toe. And a lot of Klan were scared of these black men because they were military trained. They know how to use weapons. They know how to do everything. And this is a great part about this history fact. The Deacons of Defense used to get all their weapons from the Port of New Orleans. And I had an opportunity many years ago to sit down and talk to these men. We talk about football players and basketball players, Jim Brown and all this kind of stuff. People, these are real heroes. These are real heroes. People, you got to look them up. History books been lying to us. When they show the Night Riders and the Klan, they show black men just shaking and trembling. We never fought back, and that was designed to make us look weak. They're never going to show you a bunch of men that fought their asses, toe to toe. They're not going to show you. Go look up the old pictures of these guys. These guys are in these Klan, and it makes me so proud to be a black man. It made me so proud. Because that's what it's all about. People, they're trying to erase this history. They don't want the black kids to know that they were black men who wasn't afraid of the Night Riders, of the Klan. But they want us to think that we were cowards and feared these men. And it's not true. Research it yourself. Do your own history. And you're going to learn about them. We had black men that went toe to toe with the Klan. History book would never tell you that. Do your own research. And I'm going to say the name one more time. Deacons of Defense and Justice. When you read it, you're going to have the biggest smile on your face because you're going to be so proud. Check them out.
You know what? The funny thing I love about white people, John, is the fact that whenever I happen, and this is Happy National Black History Month, just in case you don't know. The funniest thing is whenever I happen to showcase these videos, you guys like to show up at certain specific times, right? So let me just go back through real quick. Where was the video with the young man? This one, right? So let me just go back here real quick, right, John? So you said that we're living in the past, right? No problem. So John, this young man, because obviously you didn't want to, you obviously weren't here. This wasn't on your radar of what an American is and how it is that you can try to grandstand and be on your soapbox, John. So this young American here, true American, right? Indigenous, right? He has farmland, right, John? Farmland. You said always looking at color. No problem, John. We're going to look at color in a minute, right? Because we're going to showcase your people, right? So again, this young black man has land, right? He has farmland of his own that he basically has, right? So that young black man was nice enough to allow these white people. You see the color, John? See black? You see white? Right? Just like pandas. What are pandas, John? Black and white. So let's not sit up there and act like we don't see color. We exactly know what color is. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be stupid. But let's continue, right? So you got this white family directly right here, right? And the young black man there. Again, he allowed them on his farmland, right? Into his home for whatever reason. I'm not sure if they were down in their luck, not sure if their house might have caught on fire or whatever it is, right? So he allowed them directly into his home, and slowly but surely, he ended up having to deal with a variety of problems from the white man there who was the father, right? And we found out later on that these people are actually millionaires. They have money. so they can afford their own land, their own house, and everything. But you know what this white man wanted to do with all of his money, John? He wanted to sit up there and steal the land from a young black man. We're not talking about in the 1900s. We're not talking about the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. We're not talking about none of those old times. We're not talking about back in the days of slavery, John. Yes, sir, master. We ain't talking about that, sir. We ain't talking about that. No, John. We're talking about 2025. Where your people were actively trying to steal land from a black man who owns it, a young black man at that, and you got all of that money, but your people are still up here still taking land, John. I thought we didn't see color, John. Do you think that they would do that to somebody else who was white, who opened up their home and their land to them? No, they wouldn't, John. They would respect it. They would revere that man. But when it's somebody that's black, your people like, well, I don't feel like you need this anymore. There's no reason why you should even have this. Actually, matter of fact, since I'm here, I claim it to be mine. Let me call up my 20 lawyers with my millions of dollars, and we're going to actively work on taking this land, right? And then not only that, John, but then you even had his witches of daughters that were there as well. And John, again, we're not supposed to see color, but obviously these pagans, these Europeans, these Christians, right? They decided that they saw color enough where when the young man expressed the fact that his brother died, the one that you see right there with the poor nose job, she wanted to make fun of the brother's death. Aha, that's why your brother's dead. That's why he's never coming back. Now, who would sit up there and do something like that? And again, we're not supposed to be focused in seeing color, right? We're not supposed to be doing that. But again, both of those two Caucasian women back there were doing that to the one black man that was there. And you know what ended up happening, John? You know what happened, right? Through all of this stuff, and this is her sitting directly in the home on the bed and her sitting up there filming, right? She's antagonizing this man. She's trying to cause certain things to happen. And this is why she's filming. And this is why the sister on the other side also has her phone directly to her side. They're both filming, right? So they're both plotting. These are two white women plotting on a young black man, trying to get him arrested, trying to do any and everything, trying to help their dad get the land. Again, these are white folks trying to actively make a plan, or formulate a plan to steal the land actively from a young black man who is living. Again, we're not doing with the 1960s, 50s, 40s, 30s, and 20s. We're not dealing with the past. We're dealing with 2025, right? Ain't this the same year that Trump got inaugurated, right? Okay, 2025. So I'm just making sure that we're clear, right? So lo and behold, John, what inevitably ended up happening because of all of the laughter and everything that she wanted to sit up there and state and make fun of about her brother, her parents died. Her parents are deceased. Her parents are now looking up at us. I'm not talking about looking down, meaning they were up in heaven. They're looking down. They're stuck 6 feet deep, if not more, for an eternity. And now those two daughters that were making fun, those two daughters that were actively trying to plan and plot on a young black man, those two daughters that were trying to cause an interaction so that they could call the law, call the boys. Now they got to sit up there and call a morgue, right? Now they got to call people to pick up the pieces. Because now it's a puzzle. They don't know what their parents look like. They don't know, how their parents are all over. It's a puzzle. You got to get a master worker out here, a puzzle master, to sit up there and put them back together. The same way that Black Americans have had to sit up there and put their lives and everything else back together after your people came in and destroyed, took, erased. See how that works, John? See how that works? But again, we're not supposed to sit up there and see color, though, right? Because you said we're still stuck in the past. Still stuck in the past, though, right? Crazy work. Diabolical how that happens. Just like how, since Black people are now boycotting a lot of these businesses such as Target, you can now see who the real thieves are. And guess what, John? You know who those thieves look like? You. Your incest of a sister, wife that you have. Your granddaughter, sister. Everything in between. That's who it looks. It looks like your incestuous family, John. That's exactly who it's reflective of. It's not reflective of black people. Because again, you guys like to masquerade. You guys like to sit up there and hide. You guys like to do some covert, type of things when you guys steal. And better yet, whenever it is that you guys actually do steal, they don't really say anything up until it's a ridiculous number. Like we caught 64 Caucasians in a ring that were stealing across the United States. But no, they're in a ring and it's 64 of them. But you'll make sure to sit up there and play in every single state and city known to man that these two black people sat up there and stole from a Family Dollar. You'll make sure to sit up there and show them stealing like a pack of ramen noodles. You'll show that and replay it and remix it. But yet you got rings around the United States. Matter of fact, there was a story that I did where there was a white woman and I think her husband that were running a ring that were paying people to go into expensive stores and run and steal stuff so that they could sit up there and sell it online. But I guess, John didn't want to talk about that, right? We're not supposed to be seeing color, but it's hard not to see color when the people that's doing it are white. But the only people that get accounted for are black. It's crazy how that works. So we're stuck in the past. We're not supposed to see color, but every single time I look at the media, I see color because the main things that they want to showcase are black people, even though black people don't make up the greater majority of the population. That's amazing to me, John. That's amazing. You don't see color, but I bet you had a black dog. Bet you had a black cat. Bet you got some blue shades. I bet you know the difference in color between a tomato and an orange. But maybe it's just me though. I'm just color struck. I'm sorry. I'm color struck. I guess that happens when, you actually have color. When God didn't forget to color you. And I guess that's what happens, right? I guess when you're clear, you can't really afford to see color because that wasn't afforded to you, right? I guess that's where we are. So, I'm sorry if I'm actually focused on color. I am what I am. And you are what, you are. Anyways, let's continue.
Talk to your lawyer outside my truck.
All right.
And this one, so let me just, because this one is a bit of a long one here, and I want to set some people up, so that you can clear cut understand. Technically, this is for a lot of the people that are currently here. This is both for the men that are here or the young men or men that may have went through this type of instance, this type of circumstance and dealt with this. I was going to say serpent stance, which technically I guess it fits at this moment in time, right? And this is also for the women out there to also know that these types of things happen and go on with men when it is that they want to specifically spend time and see their child, right? And then to also put it further into the fact that the young man's mother is actually there in the front seat, right? Witnessing and seeing all of this happen and trying to be proactive in the situation to, try to get some type of calmness here, right? So I may, pause it in between so that we can talk about this and different things of that nature. So let's go.
May you step out my truck.
No, I need my son.
It's my child too. I have the rights to take him with me just like you. So you may exit my truck.
You got a whole restraining order.
Okay, and you may if I got a restraining order, step out my truck. I don't have a restraining order on my child.
Yes,
so you may step out my truck, please.
Family.
Okay, you may step out my truck. You may step out my truck.
The whole family. No, we got one on me, Darian, my mama, and everybody.
And you may step out my truck.
How? What's the restraining order for?
For what Tez came to the house and did.
When?
Monday.
What did I do?
Monday?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
At all.
I got pictures of stuff in my phone and my
You got videos?
Yep.
Did I did it? Prove it.
Let me talk.
What is the point of you keeping me away from my child? Darian don't even want to go with his mama, y'all. This is crazy. He laying on my mama. This is crazy. He do not want to go with his mama. This is crazy. And you trying to keep me away from my child for what point?
You just can't keep them for a few hours and not bring them back later. Ain't no protection order on me.
Ain't no protection order on nobody.
Yes, it is.
It's the lies they tell to do what they gotta do to better themselves.
Court and get protection
Exactly.
order. That's what my mama did. She went to court? Yep.
This sad, y'all. This real life sad. What I gotta go through for my child, bro. This sad what I gotta go through for my child, bro. This sad. Since we gotta always get on the internet and talk about somebody. Look what I gotta go through for my child, bro. I ain't seen my child in a whole week. I come over here and I only can chill with him for 10 minutes. It's crazy. Then he don't even want to go with his mama. He said he want to go with his daddy. This is crazy. Then look what I gotta go through, bro.
I was calling for the consultation lady that I talked to yesterday. I forgot her name.
Going through court for nothing. Because I moved on.
I guess I came yesterday.
You won't go through court because I moved on.
Hey.
She can't even give me a good reason to want to go through court.
I tried to do what the lady said and let them see him, but it's not working, so I okay.
So I want y'all to understand this, right? This dude is probably in his early 20s, right? And you see the clown directly in the bonnet in the background. And I know you'll have some people that'll be like, oh, well, maybe you guys should sit up there and make sure you have kids with the right as a guy, you can try to do as much as possible. And I'm talking about from experience. You can try to do as best as possible, right? You can even know the family, you can know the sisters and everything, right? Because I was there. I did that, right? She met my mom and everything. And you know what can inexplicably and explainably end up happening? That the moment in time that somebody ends up having a child, says it's yours, and it's not yours, and then you're made to go to court to go prove paternity because said person wants to sit up there and put you on child support because during that time in Michigan, it was mandatory. If somebody wanted to receive money for a child, you had to put the father's name directly on the papers. And then you end up finding out that it's not yours. So again, you're talking to a person that I was raised by my mom. My mom, taught me to sit up there and look out for, certain things, right? Girl sat up there and met my mom. I sat up there and met her mom. I met her dad. I met her sisters. I met her brothers. I technically knew the whole family. And guess what? Still got jacked, right? So just to, I just want to list that to get that whole thing out of there because I know some people want to try to use this as a ha type of like thing. This young black man has his mom. His mom is directly on the other side of the car holding her grandchild. And you actively see the quote unquote mother, the clown in the background, sitting up there talking to her lawyer, sitting up there trying to make up a story like, oh, well, this custody thing ain't really sitting up there working, yada, yada, yada. Something needs to be done. So I want to just put this out there to a lot of people. If people want to understand and know why you have a lot of black dudes out here that are like, it ain't even worth it for me to try to even deal with the situation. I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to give 100% rights. I'm not trying to deal with any of this madness because it's going to get a little bit more worse. It's a little bit deeper into the video, but it's going to further prove why it is that you have a lot of dudes out here that are like, hey, I wash my hands directly of it. But let's continue.
Mom, you got a book in your nose. Yeah. You can't breathe. Your nose stuck up.
He said, chill out, bro.
Mom. There's an ice cream.
There. You want to go?
No, to go to Ted.
See what I'm saying? He want to go with Ted. You want to go with me, mommy?
Yeah, Mom.
You want to go with your mommy?
Go.
You want to go with Ted?
Go.
You ready to go?
Yeah, go, Mom.
It's sad, bro. Oh, God. She real life dude, bro. She won't take me to court for nothing, bro. Talking about a diaper rash. Want something about something because he picked up a weapon and picked up a toy gun outside of Walmart. You want to take me to court for that?
Yes.
You want to take me to court for no reason.
Okay.
You want to take me to court for no reason. I've been sitting over here for 10 minutes. Now you already trying to keep my child away from me. I ain't seen my child in a week.
Okay. Alright, give me my child.
You may step out my truck, please.
Call them back. Let me talk to them.
My son literally don't even want to go with mama. He want to stay with daddy. And you trying to keep my child away from me. Man, they sick. My son ain't never been home.
My boy. Call them back.
Let me also put this into context too. Earlier on, he said it very briefly. He said that the reason why she is doing this is because he's moved on, right? So this also goes into the whole other fact that a lot of women will use their children as a type of form of weapon and or control, where it's like, okay, well, you're no longer interested in me. You don't want to be with me. So guess what? You're not going to be able to see your child. So the guy could be a decent or a great father. But in order to get back at him because he is no longer interested and he found somebody else that he basically loves, want to be in a relationship with, she's like, well, I'm going to penalize you by way of the child. So if you want to see the child, you got to, be interested in me, or you got to drop what it is that you're doing. Crazy work. Let's continue.
This me again. Somebody had wanted to speak to you all.
It's sad, bro. It really like sad. You may take it off speaker. You can talk to her in private just like she had.
How you doing? Yes, ma'am. I'm speaking with.
It's sad. Look what I got to go through, y'all.
And what was this call pertaining to?
I love you too, Dad. Look what I got to go through, bro. With a bitter baby mama.
Was this call pertaining to me and my son being able to see his child? Wait, Duty. Ma'am.
Nah, she's supposed to come.
I know, I'm here with her, and I'm saying, like, my son has the 50% rights to his child. I'm just saying, are we not able to see the child at the moment? Wait, Daria, Granny on the phone.
Mom, I got 50 rights just like she do. There's no point of her stopping me from seeing my child, or there's no point of me that I can't take my child.
So, okay. But we don't have rights to see him, that's what I'm saying.
How come I don't? The judge never said that. The judge, that's her lawyer. That's not the judge. That's what her lawyer said. Her lawyer can't make a decision for my child. That's not the judge. But that's not the judge. The judge never said that I cannot see my child. That's not against the law. I got a 50% just like you do.
Okay.
Look what I got to go through, y'all. Look what I got to go through.
She says she don't represent this kind of case. I don't know
Exactly.
who that is.
Exactly. So I can take my child if I wanted to take my child.
Okay.
You may step out my truck, please.
Nope.
Thank you very much.
Just calm down.
Man, where you gotta come in, man? You may step out my truck, please.
I may not.
Yeah, I see it. Now she don't want to get out my truck.
Until I get my child.
And if I pull off, I'm wrong.
Help. Come on, Darian.
Darian not going. I'm sorry.
Darian is going.
No.
Well, or
You violate my rights to keep my child away from me.
not.
How come you not?
Just give me my child so things won't have to go how it will.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm
Just
sure.
give me my child.
I ain't
Notice
keeping
the
calm,
threat
man,
that she
bro. I'm
just
tired of
made.
keeping calm. Okay, go to court. And you can go to court and you can meet us there.
No, I can actually call
You
the
can
police.
call them. What they gonna say? What they gonna do?
They can say,
What
if I have proof,
proof of what?
if I have
Proof
proof
of what?
that Darion's supposed to be with me, if I have proof.
And I got proof that he's supposed to be with me too. I'm his daddy just like you his mama.
Okay, I have paper proof. Okay.
Okay, show me paper proof.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
So I want y'all to understand the threat that she just made with the mom, with that young man's mom in a car. He's like, oh, no problem. You don't want to do what I say? I got you. I don't care about your visitation. You don't want to do what I say? You're not going to give me my child? No problem. I'm calling 911. I'm calling the police to come get you. And like I said before, so I get and I understand that a lot of people have sat up there and stated that, yo, y'all got to be more careful. I'm trying to sit up there and let you know from experience, you have a lot of women out here that are very great deceivers. Very great deceivers. I'm not sure how else that I can explain this to a lot of people unless you've actually been in this situation. You have a lot of women that are very great, beautiful liars. Very great, beautiful deceivers. Like, it doesn't, the only way that you're going to know who a woman is if she decides to actually tell you and show you from the jump. That's the only way. There's no amount of detective work that you're going to be able to do in order to fully prove that, oh, this woman is really this type of, bro, no. Like I said before, this is how a lot of people, if you go look at the what is it, ID or Lifetime movies or whatever it is, whatever shows they got online, where a lot of married women were like, yo, I didn't even know that my husband was a killer. We've been married for 34 years. So for 34 years, that dude has always been a killer. And she didn't know because it was hidden. So I'm saying that to further prove that you're not going to know who somebody is unless they decide to sit up there and show you. Right? Just want to sit up there and put that directly out there. Just want to put that out there. But again, I want to highlight the fact that she is actively calling law enforcement. We all know how law enforcement acts when it deals with black men. And she actively is calling the police 911 because she doesn't want the father to have visitation because the father is no longer interested in her. The father is moved on. But he's not moved on from the child. He's still active and still in the child's life, still wants to see his child, still want to be around his child, still want to do all of that. But she don't care about that. Let's continue.
She can't even show me paper proof. You see what I'm going through?
So that's discussed between me and my lawyer. Hey,
They love you.
I need someone at Holland Hills Apartments. I don't know.
Wait, you said what? You said I still don't see the difference. Are you vetting these women? Is that supposed to be vetting these women? Is that what you're right? Is that what you're supposed to be writing? You said, is that not what you tell women? I sat up there and said the exact. I just need, okay. Before I go directly out of line, let me just talk to you like a human being, right? Because obviously, you only pop in on a few videos. I didn't had a multitude of videos. Who is Sani? I didn't had a multitude of videos for people to sit up there and chime in. But magically, when it deals with specific topics, magically everybody, want to speak on one thing. Like the white dude, I don't see color. Why are you guys focused on color? Had to sit up there and showcase that. Now you, out of all videos, wanted to basically pop in on this one and be like, don't you? I don't see the difference. Didn't you sit up there and tell a black woman to sit up there and vet and do all this stuff? The exact same energy that I've poured into both groups, I've said the exact same thing for black men, young black men, black boys, and I said the same thing for black women, young black women, and black girls. I'm a little bit confused on how anybody can get that misconstrued or doesn't want to pay it. Matter of fact, I know why people don't want to pay attention. It's because you don't want to pay attention. Like that's crazy. I've even used my own self as an example. So I'm a little bit confused here on what your point is even trying to be at this moment in time. Because it sounds like you skipped out on a lot of videos that I did over the years. Since about like 2018. Sounds like you skipped over a lot of those and the live streams as well, even current live streams. So it's like, it's crazy to have the perspective where you're speaking on some things I said in the past, but you're not looking at the whole of the totality. You said I watch your stuff a lot. It's not my first. So how do you not know? Ma'am, how do you not know? So you watch a lot of my stuff, so you obviously have heard me give my own perspective from stories that I've literally lived. And whenever I happen to talk about the black community, I throw myself directly in there. When I mention black men, I throw myself in there. When I talk about relationships and how things go wrong, I throw myself in there. So I'm a little bit confused on what point that you're trying to prove at this moment in time with the comment that you made. It was like, I don't see the difference. What? I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit lost here. But let's continue. Let's go back to the mother calling the police on a black man.
I know what she want me to do, bro. And I'm keeping my cool, dog. She pushing me, dog, for no reason. Nobody harmed my child. Nobody did nothing to my child at all, bro. At all, bro.
Still work downtown where I had came.
Dad, say what up. Say what's up. Tell everybody what's up.
Look at the little kid.
Come down there because my grandson's mama is refusing my son rights to see him. His name on his birthday.
Ain't no altercation going on.
Now look at that. Hold on, let me rewind that real quick. Let me just rewind. Hold on.
They told me to come down there because my grandson's mama is refusing my son rights to see him. His name on his birthday.
Ain't no altercation.
Now she's up there already lying. Now you hear two conversations going. The mother was like, okay, if you calling the police, we're about to sit up there and call the police too. So the mother is calling the police, letting them know that, hey, her son has 50-50 visitation. He's able to sit up there and see the child and whatnot, whatever. She don't want him to sit up there and see it for whatever reason. And in the background, in a car, in the same car, not even her car. She didn't pay for it. She didn't put money. This is his vehicle. She decides to sit there and make up a lie and say, we had an altercation. Wow. 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 So this is what I'm going to state to a lot of people. Clear-cut evidence right here. This is just one example of many of why it is that a lot of dudes are like, yo, I'm just going to step back from this whole situation. Because I don't think a lot of women actually understand what it means that if a woman calls the police and says that there is a altercation or domestic disturbance and there was none, how the police are automatically going to react. Domestic disturbances, altercations are not the calls that a lot of cops want to happen. They would rather deal with anything else. Anything else. Because domestic disturbances and altercations, too many things, there's too many variables. A lot of things can sit up there and happen, and usually these things go wrong, horribly, horribly wrong. So they're already souped up and they're already charged, coming to the scene, already expecting what it is to expect because they've been through these things before. So how do you think that those cops, if they are to roll up to that car and she's in that car, she's not exiting that car as he's telling her to exit that, how do you think that that's going to sit up there and work out? How do you think that that's going to transpire? How do you think that the police are actually going to talk directly to him? How do you think that they're going to treat him? And then this will be another way that she could just file some random paperwork and lie. But, oh, we had an altercation in the car. Oh, he was doing this, that, and the third. And then earlier in the video, she wanted to say earlier, like, oh, remember all of that stuff that you sat up there and did? And he was like, what did I do? I don't recall. She was like, oh, you don't remember? She was like, I got this and that on my phone. I got proof and yada, yada, yada. What proof? What video? What do you have? Because if she ever has to go to court to basically prove any of these things taking place, she's not going to have any proof. But as I told people before, in a lot of these incidences, the courts are going to side directly with the mother. No matter how reckless the mother is, they're going to sit up there and side directly with the mother. Crazy work. But like I said, you're looking at this woman sit up there and lie on a father that is actively trying to be in his child's life. But because of him moving away from her, not wanting to be in a relationship with her no more, she wants to sit up there and use that child as a weapon in order to emotionally and even potentially physically harm him because he no longer wants any part of her. He still wants to be in a child's life. He just don't want to be with her. And this is how she's sitting up there acting. Let's continue.
Going on. Don't lie to him. Tell me exactly what's going on. It allows you to get your son with. I got visitation right there. I got 50% just like you. Don't turn the phone. Let them hear what I got to say. Do not turn the phone. Let them hear exactly what I got to say. You be trying to make it seem like I'm so wrong when I ain't never did nothing wrong. Mama, I'm tired of being mama, I'm tired of being quiet.
What he got to do, Nikhil? I would give you
Look what she's looking. I ain't flashing at all, bro. I'm tired of being quiet, bro. I ain't dating nigga, bro. I'm not going through this. No, bro, look, I'm tired at all. Yeah, it could be fine today, but I don't know. We'll have to see which judge the computer assigns it to. Then that's when you get your court date.
I am in a silver. No.
This girl calling the police on my son because he out seeing his child. And now
I can't even see my child, bro. I can't even take my child home, bro. It's sad, bro. Look what I'm going through with her. Right here.
You can't keep a person from seeing their child. They
she want to be fighting so bad.
He's seeing his child right now.
And if I want my child, I can take my child with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me taking my child with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me taking my child with me, bro. Look what I got to go through with a bitter baby mama, bro.
That's exactly what happened. Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Your dad's some sugar.
This is crazy.
This every day.
Okay.
Dad's some sugar. May. You want to see May? May. Yeah, Uncle Nuke. Yeah, Papa, Bug.
Yeah, this is a live stream.
The OnStar system is not active.
What is you doing?
To renew or purchase.
Did you push the all-star button?
It's crazy. I can't even take my child with me. And I ain't did nothing wrong. I ain't touched nobody. I ain't harmed nobody. My child good. He want to go with his daddy. What have I done wrong? For anybody out there that want this child, man, I feel bad for y'all, man.
What did you say?
Can you make you get out my truck?
No, I may not go here.
Make her get out my truck.
Can't make her get out, baby.
I can make her get out. I can make anybody get out my truck. This is my property, right?
Why?
Look what I got to go through.
That's crazy work. And the whole duration of that, she was just sitting there looking dumb. And this is why I also tell a lot of these young men out here, like, yo, make sure to film. And any interactions that you have, you got to make sure to sit up there and film so that you got some type of proof. Because regardless on if the woman has proof or not, the courts will sit up there and believe the woman. You got a lot of women out here that will sit up there and lie. Just like this one here. She just sit in the back seat of his car, just sitting up there lying. Called 911, sat up there and called whatever lawyer that she sat up there and called, did all of this to harass him, to cause issues, to cause problems. And a lot of dudes will sit up there and see examples like this, and they'll be like, you know what? It ain't worth it. I'm not going to sit up there and do this. I'm like, you can fully just have all rights, all everything. I'll just sit up there and be on child support. And a lot of people feel like, yo, that's a bad way to sit up there and do it. No, you need to sit up there and fight for your child. But the problem is, why should this man who actively wants to be in his child's life, why should he have to sit up there and fight? When have you ever heard of a woman, anybody telling a woman you got to fight for your child? I ain't never heard of that. I ain't never heard nobody out here ever tell a woman you need to fight for your child. Nah, they'll sit up there and tell her like, yo, you got to do better for your child. They'll sit up there and say that, but I ain't never heard nobody tell a woman you need to fight for your child. Never. It's always men, no matter what the situation is. And again, this is a situation where the father is active. The father is there. The mother is there as well too. But he got to sit up there and deal with this. And then not only do he got to deal with this, it's also the potentiality of her sitting up there telling different types of lies. She could just decide to sit up there and say like, oh, he sat up there and took my child from me. He sat up there and beat me. He pushed me out of a car. He did this. And guess what? They're going to believe her because she's the mother. He's the man. On top of that, he's black. Like, cards are drastically stacked against him. And this also goes towards the other narrative that a lot of people like to sit up there and say that, oh, you know, black men don't like to raise their kids. They don't like to be around and da 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 da. Because I saw somebody try to be slick and write that comment up there earlier. But the funniest thing is that you have a lot of fathers out here. Better yet, you got the CDC by their own stats have stated that black men, out of all of the nationalities, ethnicities in the United States, black men are the only ones that are the most present in and around their children's lives. And that's facts. That is facts. That's 100% facts. Because the funniest thing is, just even coming from my circumstance, right? Again, being a statistic, single parent household, all of my friends had their fathers there, right? So again, how the media wants to try to explain stuff and how people choose to believe versus what you can actually see and comprehend and touch and feel, it's a vastly different thing. The black girls during the time of middle school and high school had their fathers. The girls that I dated got their fathers. So like I said, this is going against the whole narrative that people like to sit up there and spin and put directly out there when it deals with black men not being active, black men not being fathers, da da da, and all this always running away. Yeah, it's going against that whole narrative. But again, whenever you want to put information like this out there, you want to showcase these facts, a lot of people don't want to pay attention. A lot of people tend to step back. They want to ignore. They want to act like this was never talked about. This wasn't highlighted. Magically, they skipped over. They missed it. Like I said before, it's crazy work. And she started looking real crazy when he sat up there and said that I can get people out of my car. She had that look. So shout out to a lot of the trolls directly in the comment section. Somebody tried to get real slick, like, oh, let me sit up there and spell out this. You got banned. So I want you to try that again and log into another Google account real quick, because you got banned from the comment section, but you're not directly banned off the channel. So log off of that account real quick and log right back into your next Google account so I can start adding up this ban list real quick. Let me start doing that. Matter of fact, I might just sit up there and do that. I think I might, if I'm really tempted, I might just sit up there and do a secondary live stream where I'm just like streaming a game and just talking to y'all, just so I can start banning a whole bunch of people real quick. Cause y'all that stupid. Y'all that stupid where y'all think that I'm not going to sit up there and spot you, or that my moderators are not going to sit up there and spot you. That's crazy work out here. But like I said before, somehow, some way, and what was that one dude's what was that one dude's name that was talking about while we stuck in the past and see color? Like I said before, it's because of your clown incestuous friends and family and partners that rolled directly to a black platform. Y'all can literally go anywhere else, but y'all want to go up here. Let me start throwing out some racial slurs. So, folks, for a lot of people, this is why we got a lot of stuff in a sense blocked on the channel, because you can't have good, you just can't have nice things. You can't, you just cannot have, nice things. It's crazy work. The World's Fix said was like your great grandma and your daddy love us. That's bars. That is bars. That is facts. Jermaine said the block party. Facts. 100%. We are blocking all directly out here. You come through with nonsense, you're getting blocked. Mo was like, get sent to the Bermuda Triangle. Bars. It's crazy work. Like I said, like, they can literally be anywhere else. Anywhere else. But they decide. We got Miss Anderson in the building. What is up? What is up? I'm pretty sure Miss Anderson is in a science lab with a few beakers at this moment in time, mix and matching some chemicals. At this moment, we got our local scientist in a sense in building, as I like to say. What chemist scientist? Technically, it would be chemist because of the job that you got, because you gotta, deal with like chemicals and metals and stuff. So it's chemist. Something there. You said yes. Yeah. I knew. See, I knew you had to be at work. I knew it. I knew it. But well, since I can't seem to, reach you, I will say this because you are here listening. A lot of the stuff that you do at work, you should use that for content. I'm just going to sit up and tell you, you should use a lot of the stuff that you do for content because it would educate a lot of people directly out here that might not know anything about it. I mean, if you are able to film, I think the last time I did talk to you, you did say that you can film, I think, in there. So, you can upload that to TikTok. Then on top of the fact that, you're a black woman, doing these things, that, will highlight, some cool things as well, too. And then also potentially get some, young girls out there interested, in that field and, and different things like that. Like I said, we need more varying content out here from black women. And this is to all of the black women I got directly on this channel, a lot of which are moderators. Whatever y'all like to do, I don't care if it's cooking, I don't care if it's cleaning, I don't care if it might be like childcare. Well, childcare might be a little bit different depending on if it's like your child or somebody else's, so that may be a little bit different, that you would have to figure out something with the content. But yeah, start putting some different content out here. I would rather see a flood of y'all doing a variety of content versus the other stuff that I happen to see online. Like case in point, they got a what's the one challenge that I set up there and saw somebody do? Was some called like the dildo challenge that some woman was out there doing, and she was in the open street going to casinos, restaurant. It's like when you type it in, I can't even show it off here because it just ain't gonna work. There's nothing I can say. There's no amount of blurring of what I would be able to do to have that video up along with having this channel up. But if you type that into X or wherever, you happen to look that up, you'll see the first picture that you should see is a woman in the middle of the street with said item. Like I said, I would rather not see any of that material at all, because again, as I stated before, that inevitably is somebody misusing the image of a black woman for the wrong reasons, and then that same image is going to get narrated and posted all throughout the world. And people are then around the world who never met a black woman at all, as soon as they see you there in their country, be like, oh, so you're just like, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and this woman who did the challenge. That's what those men are going to look at you. That's what they're going to deem, right? Instead of, if you got, let's say, Miss Anderson showing off, some things going off, doing with like science and metals, right? Or another woman, talking about her favorite dish to cook and teaching people how to cook and doing stuff like that. Or another woman that might be into, like, let's say, like construction or fabrication or 3D printing or or something like that. Like I said, it's everything has to, it's about the perspective. We got Brother Allen in the building. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation for the $5 dono to the channel. Oh yeah, also because I didn't get a chance to hit like on the other dono that you gave in for one of the other videos. Much love. because I saw you in the comment section. I just didn't get a chance to hit the button because I was like half asleep. But much love and respect, for supporting the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. What was it? Ms. Anderson said, "Wow, now that's diabolical." Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I didn't think that in 2025 I would end up seeing a video of somebody doing that out there in the open and just aggressively attacking it. Like it was just, that was crazy. I'm like, wow, like this is what we're doing. And I'm like, so like I said, I don't know what to tell people. There's also another video as well too. Let me see if I can get the video, because I'm gonna have to just do it image wise. Because I gotta blur out the actual footage. So I'm just going to, while I'm looking for it, I'm just going to explain it to you guys. So what inevitably ended up happening is that I'm not sure what city that this took place in, but there was a group of young black boys, about like maybe four or five of them, right? And they are walking across the street, kid you not, walking across the street, and they're carrying assault rifles. And I'm like, dog, one of these dudes look like he's 13. And I'm like, what is even happening here? At this moment in time. Matter of fact, I might not actually have it. I might have to, let me see. I might be able to go to X real quick and see it. Oh, also a different, I'll just download, I'll probably just download that video real quick. But let me see if I can find this real quick. Because like I said before, this is I'm like Dr. Umar when it deals with oh my god, with a lot of this stuff. And a lot of people disagree with me earlier on. I'm like, yo, they were like, Dr. Umar was like, yo, a lot of your sons gotta be gone for good. Like he can't psychologize, a lot of your kids directly out here. Like I said, it's bad. Like I said, I don't know what hood this is directly from. Let me zoom this in and make sure I blur out the weapons there in their hands. Let me just blur that directly out. Let me do that, and I gotta upload that to OBS. See image. Do that. Do that. So yeah, let me see, because this is in that what's the name format. So now I gotta go back to StreamYard. Do this here. Move it to the side. So yeah, it was this group of young men that were walking across the street in broad daylight carrying weapons. And I'm like, nah, this ain't it. This is not it. And the amount of conversations that I've had to have, over the years, when I stated that I agree with Dr. Umar Johnson that a lot of people's kids, I'm just gonna be honest, in black community, like a lot of y'all kids, like they just don't need to be here. I don't know how else to frame it. I don't know how else to sit up there and say that directly to people. I can sit up there and say that you got a lot of elements out there that can mislead or, pull kids to a certain direction. But again, as coming from a single parent household, being a statistic, I did not fall directly into this. Like the craziest part is, I know somebody, quite a few, who grew up in two-parent households that ended up going directly into gangs. Two-parent households, both parents. I didn't have both parents, right? But they got like both parents in their life. They're able to see them. They know them. They've been there for birthdays and Thanksgivings, all the other type of stuff. And they still decide to go directly into gangs. They still decide to, get locked up, go to prison, go to jail. They still decide to carry weapons. They still decide to go out there and sell drugs. They still decide to be grown adults and not actually do anything collectively with their lives. They still decide to be in their 40s, almost 50, about 50 years old, still out there doing nonsense. like I said before, we don't need this right here, this example. We don't need this going through the ages of 30s, 40s, and we don't need that, because all they're going to do is sit up there and recreate the exact same thing that they are at this moment in time, because that's all they know and that's all they care about. The moment in time that you're at this age, being a teenager, and you're openly walking across the street carrying weapons, broad daylight, doing this type of stuff, you don't care about nobody. You only care about yourself. So this is why I don't understand whenever it is that I see court cases and I see the families of young men like this in those courtrooms, and they're weeping because their sons are going to be locked up for 30 years to life. I don't even understand. I'm like, how are you even crying? I'm like, all of that crime, ma'am, that you was doing, you should have been doing that since he was born. You should have been actively there. You should have been actively seeking out the positive male role models in your family to be by the side of that young man as he grows up, so that he doesn't decide to skate over to the whole other side, because that's what my mother did. So I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking directly from experience. And I've sat up there and given all the love and the appreciation throughout my channel over the years to all of the many fathers that I have known that have been a part of my life. And I'm talking about my friends' fathers. So that's like Mr. Thomas, Mr. Sertima, Mr. Dinkins, Mr. Roosevelt, right? And it's probably like a few others that I might be missing at this moment in time. Even some of the brothers that I played basketball with, their fathers were there. And because I saw them and how it was with their families, I knew what it was that I wanted to do. I knew how it is that I wanted to move directly through life, because I looked at how their sons respected them. I looked at how their families and their kids respected them. So it's like, it's crazy to me to sit up there and see a lot of this nonsense going on, knowing the fact that there's ways to avoid this, and that there are a lot of parents in the Black community that are not doing the necessary things in order to avoid this. And again, before anybody wants to write anything, I'm talking from experience of coming from a statistic household. I'm supposed to be in jail and prison. I was supposed to have been selling drugs. I was supposed to have been in gangs. I was supposed to have been arrested. I should have a record. I should be having 19 kids directly out here. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even have made it past 18. But I made it through all of these many years. I made it through high school and graduated because my mom was there. I made it because I had positive Black male role models directly in my life. I made it through there because of the way that I was raised. I also sought out the exact same type of people that I am. So I played video games. I played card games. I went to the arcade. I minded my business. And all of the friends that I have, to Brandon V. World, to friend Wizzo, Jarrell, Linnell, Ron, Big Mike, all of the friends, all of the positive Black men that I know, and a lot of which have also went through college in some type of way, fashion, or form, went through college or held down a steady job, right? Some of which these guys are also married, still holding down the family, all Black everything, right? So I made sure, because of the way that I was raised, I sat up there and found people that were just like me. And here we are today with no scars, no bullet holes, no bullet wounds, no type of jail record to speak of, no type of in and out of prison, no type of gang activity, no type of drug dealing activity, nothing. So nobody can sit up there and tell me that it is impossible to not have kids do this. The only way that it's impossible is if you decide that you don't want to be a parent. The only way it's impossible is if you decide to sit up there and abandon your kids and your responsibility. The only way it's impossible is if you decide not to value any of what it is that you created. And that's a lot of parents. It's crazy. It's 100% crazy. Baby said, yeah, getting influence or just under some sort of financial pressure is typically the root of this behavior. Dog, my household was in financial pressures as well too. My mom was putting herself directly through schooling for nursing while also putting me in a private school. And I think what was the private school was like 400 plus during the time, 400, 500, whatever it was. Then on top of that, you also had latchkey. And then on top of that, having to buy the private school, clothes, the normal slacks and the t-shirt and the tie, having to sit up there and have the car maintenance and, and take care of that if anything breaks down or whatnot or whatever. Having to sit up there and pay rent, worry about food and all. Like I said before, there were a whole bunch of financial pressures directly there. But my mom, she didn't sit up there and give up. My mom never sat up there and made excuses. And for damn sure, my mom never sat up there and said, the reason you're not getting this for your birthday, the reason we can't afford this is because your father's not. She ain't never do nothing like that. And that's the one, that's the, anytime I sit up there and speak on this, like I said, I speak from experience. I speak on what it is that I see. My mother, having to raise me by herself, never sat up there and blamed my father for anything. It just is what it was. Right? You can't blame somebody for something and they ain't here. So she took all of that and we kept it trucking. We sat up there and kept it moving. Like I said, but when I look at a lot of the stuff on social media at this moment in time, I don't see people able to take on that whole responsibility and not push or put blame on anybody else. That's the whole reason that, in a sense, I am the way that I am. I feel that my responsibility is to sit up there and do what it is that I'm doing at this current moment in time. I'm not going to sit up there and place responsibility on other people in the Black community when I'm not willing to sit up there and do it myself. So this goes back to the exact same thing where a lot of people set up to ask me before. It's like, oh, well, Seiji, what are you specifically doing for the Black? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Instead of not doing nothing, I'm sitting up there doing something with the little bit that I have, which is this platform. And like I said, shout out to my mom, because she is one of the main reasons that I am the person I am at this moment in time, and that I am doing what I'm doing currently on this platform. Because I saw everything that she did. I saw how it was that she sat up there and moved directly through life while sitting up there taking care of me. And because of that value and that respect and that love that she gave to me, that's the exact same value, love, and respect that I show directly to the Black community. But I know that a lot of people can't seem to understand that. Because they ain't used to seeing it. It's crazy. Oh, look at this. The crazy work directly out here. Look at Steven. He was like, a bunch of doctors on their way to the house. Steven, the thing is, the Black community has no problem pointing out issues and problems, right? We have no problems doing that. The problem that we see here is the fact that a lot of your doctors and your nurses seem to be drug addicts and drug dealers. But you don't want to talk about that, though. Right, you don't want to talk about the amount of doctors that are over prescribing opioids directly to people that don't need it, or that could have simply just used some aspirin for a knee bump. They want to sit up there and give you some oxy or whatnot or whatever. They want to over prescribe you. Matter of fact, they actually made a movie about that, Steven. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that hilarious how they made a movie off of the plight that your people are suffering from? So while still suffering from that price, because you got zombie lands all across America, Stephen, that you don't want to talk about. You got your women up there on Skid Row and all of that, just sitting up there, just walking the strip in shambles all over the place. Don't want to talk about that. Right? Matter of fact, Stephen, some of your best buddies go over to Thailand to pick up little Thai boys. Right? But you don't want to talk about that, though. But you want to come back to America and act like you're the mightiest and the strongest directly out here while getting broken down by a little Thai boy. That's some crazy work. Matter of fact, something I just found out recently, Stephen, is that there's a small little video. It's not even a documentary, but there's a small video of men of your specific group and more than likely your age range. Right? Oh, wait, Mo said he can't hear me from the Bermuda Triangle. Ah, man, you You got him out of here. But let me just keep going because I'm pretty sure we got 100 people there, and I'm pretty sure that there are some other Caucasian men here too that maybe want to say something. But before y'all happen to write or say something, let me just let you know that, and I'm going to do a live stream on it at a moment in time. There's this thing that older white guys like to do, where they like to, I forgot the specific name, but they like to dress up as women. And I'm not talking about the exact cross dressing where it's just putting on the clothes. No. I'm talking about they're putting on full body suits. So they got the full silicone face. They got the full silicone midsection with the fake breast and everything, along with the legs. And then they also put on the clothes. And then they have meetups, and then they have groups. And then in certain extents, they like to sit up there and walk out in public because those same men want to be who by mind you, they sit up there and say that they're straight, right? They say that they're not a part of any other community because I don't want people to sit up and try to say like, oh, you're against these. No. These men say that they are straight. They just say that they would like to be deemed and seen as the beautiful woman that they envision themselves to be. But again, these are straight dudes. These are straight white males. They got tons of money and everything. But this is what, y'all like to do out here, Steven. Again, there's a lot of stuff that I could actually be talking about specifically when it deals with white men. I could really sit up there and be doing live streams about a lot of this stuff. I pick and choose, the stuff that I do. But if people want to sit up there and start rolling up and saying nonsense about, black people, guess what? Guest said is going to have to do that deep dive and go through the files and start getting a lot of this video out there because people want to roll up and be stupid. People, you guys are still focused on the past. You guys still see color. And a lot of you guys who say that you're straight want to be women. I don't know how that works out. I don't know how that happens. And again, so shout out to YouTube. This is not me trying to go against a certain group because of their beliefs or their sexuality. This is not that. I'm clearly talking about straight men, heterosexual men that like to sit up there and masquerade and dress up. So again, heterosexual men are not a part of anybody else's group. They're part of the quote unquote heterosexual club. So I just got to put that out there as a, I forgot. What do they normally call it? It's not a warning, disclaimer. That's what it is, disclaimer. Got to just, put that out there because people like to try to be stupid and they want to try to flag you for anything nowadays. Diabolical work. But like I said, Stephen and the many other Stevens directly out there, you may want to worry about your own people and you may want to shut up before I start worrying about your people and having to highlight this. Because then I can sit up there and start pushing this into other areas, such as the relationships that these guys like to have with women. I can start pushing this a lot of different angles because trust me, I've been all over the internet and I've seen a variety of stuff, especially thanks to X. Shout out to Twitter. A lot of those Caucanite men would they like to put a lot of their stuff directly out there, full frontal to some extent, or what little full frontal there is. And you guys like to put all the information and business directly out there, but then you have the gall, you have the nerve, you have the audacity to roll up here and to try to talk about black people in a certain type of way during National Black History Month by who, which was instated by your president. Crazy work. And we're not even through the month yet, guys. What are we at? We're only on February 20th. We got 8 days left, and this is how y'all acting. Crazy work. Shout out to the lady boys out there though. Shout out to those Thai men out there that that live their life freely. They know exactly who it is that they are, and they are secure directly in that fact. Shout out to them for living their truth. Now I can't sit up there and say the same for those Caucanites that roll directly over there and that quote unquote are in a marriage or a full-on relationship with a woman, but then they want to skate on a business trip and go over to Thailand or to Africa or to Jamaica, and they want to get their backs blown out. That's diabolical. That's crazy. But like I said before, nobody wants to talk about that or how those STDs happen to go from, I'm sorry, STIs, sexually transmitted infections, as people like to call it. Nobody wants to talk about how those things go from place to place. It's crazy. Mm. 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 Yo, lunch. What is up? What is up? What is up? You said I just saw one of the Stevens people on a story involving a white male cop stepping out of a minor car and putting his officer belt back on, and he's on a record. I think I know the video that you're talking about. I think I know the video that I think I might actually have that video. Like I said, there's a lot of videos that I have over the years. But because of the technology, I wasn't able to properly put those things directly up there. But now we're living in a whole different age. We're living in a whole different age. So I would actually be able to, put a lot of that stuff up there that I may not have been able to put up there the first time. It's crazy work. Also, there's another video directly up there. Matter of fact, could I actually do it? I want to put it up for this live stream, but I'm like, I don't know if that's going to actually affect it. Again, if you support the platform by any means, you are free to throw anything directly up there, even if it's 95 cents. 95 cents will help Seji be able to afford a coffee, every morning. You got to make this like the Christian Children's Fund. Just 10 cents a day will help little Seji afford some Uber Eats. Like I said, crazy stuff. But yeah, there's another video. If anybody follows me on IG, you could go on IG at this moment in time and look up a video that I just posted. I know some of you guys actually saw the video. I would actually have to go through the video and I might have to edit a few things because YouTube gets a lot sensitive with certain things. So I would have to pretty much edit quite a bit, but it follows along the exact same things when it deals with these young men here, and then the other video where you saw the young man, the young father having to deal with the mother, right? But in this instance, you have a mother that is actively talking to her preteen son as if he's like a grown woman on the streets, calling him directly out of his name. She's sitting up there hitting him and doing all of this stuff. And the main excuse that she gave was that, oh, I'm bipolar and schizophrenic. But I'm like, if you're bipolar and schizophrenic, then you should have known not to have kids. You shouldn't even have kids. And I think she has about 3, if I remember precisely by looking in that car. Like I said, it was crazy. She was even trying to fight her son in the streets as if he was like a whole other woman. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? I'm like, mental disorders is not an excuse for putting hands on your son and for calling him directly out of his name, calling him all types of B's and H's and all this other type of, that's crazy work. And then you film this and put it online. That's crazy. That's, like I said before, like, it's a lot of stuff out here that needs to be called out. And there's not enough people actually doing the calling out. There's not enough people actually showcasing a lot of the nonsense, directly out here. Yo, shout out, much love and respect and appreciation to what is it? Shinshi. Yo, I know the last part, but shout out to Shinshi for the $4.99, aka we were rounding up the $5 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Yeah, Shinshi. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I had it right. Okay. Yeah, like I said before, sometimes I can butcher names. I try, and I try not to. I really try not to. That's a dope name though. It seemed like something you would have on that's how you must be a gamer. I'm guessing. You got to be a gamer. It must be like a console or a PC somewhere in your midst. It has to be, because I'm looking at the name. I'm like, yeah, that's something I would see like on Tekken. maybe some Virtual Fighter, some Marvel or something. Yeah, you got Xbox. See, I knew it. Cause I'm thinking about my name. I'm like, yeah, mine is basically a gamer tag. I'm like, yeah, that's a gamer right there. I already knew. Oh yeah, yo, that's the other thing I tell people too. Y'all can sit up there and add me on because I got Xbox as well too. You can sit up there and like add me on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Switch, Steam. Well, I think the PS5 is a little bit different though. It's backwards, so it's like instead of it SEIJIHITO, it's Hito underscore Seiji. But everything else for the other systems is pretty much SEIJIHITO. So you know what Ty said. You wouldn't see my that's because you do that PC type stuff where it's like y'all got like barcodes and all this, other type of like fancy stuff, man. Console players, we can't do that. We don't got that. We don't got that. Sam said, "Oh, I was going to say he probably watches anime." Yeah, that too. Bars. Since said, "What? I'll add you so you can get beat 'em Marvel's Capcom." Yo, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I haven't actually played fighters in a minute. There used to be a point in time where I actively played fighters. Like I was there. I'm talking about, Street Fighter 4 days, Marvel versus Capcom 2, Virtual Fighter 4R. Wait, is it R that I got? Well, what the last Virtual Fighter 5 that came out, not the one that they just redid and put out on PC and added some other stuff to it, but the last, Virtual Fighter. Tekken 6, 5, and 4. I might want to put Dark Resurrection in there, but I only mostly played that in the arcade. What was another fighting game that I had directly up there that I'm not listing? Samurai Showdown. Like it's quite a bit. King of Fighters, SNK versus Capcom. Like there was a point in time where I heavily was playing a lot of stuff. And at this moment in time, I've been just solely focused on pretty much live streaming and doing, videos. So that's where all of my skills have pretty much, went and doing it down to. So it's like, if I'm not doing this, then I might be playing something, let's say like, what was it? Mecha Break, which is coming out. They got an open beta that's going to be coming out the 23rd. So I did say that I would stream that. Another game that I've streamed, Tippy was there, even though she's not here at this moment in time. What did I play? I was playing Avowed, and I finally got my character to about like level 6 right now. Got some different, spells and whatnot or whatever. Plan on getting the Dynasty Warriors game that they got as well too. Not Origins because I already got that, but it's the roguelite that they have. So I plan on getting that. And as other people know, I normally sit up there and play some Nintendo Switch. I really got to make sure to get a second monitor so I can just have that hooked up, and I can have OBS on the first monitor, and I can also like type and talk to you guys and whatnot when I sit up there and do that. But yeah, like I said, we got a lot of stuff here technically on the back burner that I'm supposed to be doing, but it's mostly just doing this and streaming. Let me see. Sham said only ever like playing Tekken. I got you. Shin said King of Fighters. Terry, but we do gotta do King of Fighters coming out as well. BA, what is up? You said I'm at Evo this year training for Street Fighter 6. Hey, yo, much love, respect, and appreciation. Yo, let me tell you, that's something that I've wanted to do. Wait, hold on. Miss Anderson said, sounds cool. I gotta work on that. Wait, work on what? Are you talking about streaming video games? Because I've been telling Miss Anderson, I've been telling you to sit up there and stream video games for a minute. Because I'm like, you already basically show your face on videos and live streams. So I'm like, that's going to be a key point that's going to, automatically get attention there. Right. And then people will sit up there and hear your voice, and then people will be watching you play. Like I said, it's easy work. It's easy work. I'm telling you. I just need people to start listening, Miss Anderson. But BA was much love, respect, and appreciation to you. That's something that I always wanted to do. First tournament I told some of y'all about was Street Fighter 4. It was at GameStop when it first came out. GameStop. I literally had the arcade stick, and I was working with Balrog, and I got used to sitting up there holding the arcade stick, getting my charge motions and everything on the arcade. I'm good on controller. Arcade stick was a little bit different, and I had everything down. I had my what's the name wrapped up. Me and my friends walked through the door, had the arcade stick in my hand. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to sit up there. I'm about to win this. I felt it. And it was during the winter too. They had that. I want to say they held it during, it should have been like January or February of that year when Street Fighter 4 came out, because it was still like snow directly on the ground. And we walked up in there, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for, like the tournament. They already had the tables and the controllers and stuff like set up. I set up there. I think I wrote my name down or whatever. And they were like, yeah, you can't use the arcade stick. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't use an arcade stick? I'm like, that don't even make any sense. And this is how stupid this was, right? They say you can't use an arcade stick. The stuff had to be GameStop or whatever it is, right? Whatever excuse that they gave. The controllers that they had during one of the final matches. Now, okay, well, let me get back to my stuff. I ended up losing my match to a flow charting Ken. Right? So I had Balrog. There was a flow charting Ken. I want to say I misguessed. Instead of me doing an EX headbutt, because he did the hurricane kick, EX hurricane kick. Instead of me doing like an EX headbutt, I decided to go for a heavy upper. I ended up getting caught, and that took out the damage right there. Right? And normally I'm the type of dude where I'm like, all right, I lost, good game, had my hand out to, sit up there and dap up or whatever. Dude sat up there and threw down a controller and was up there like talking all this shit and just like walked off. I'm like, this is why people don't be respectful in sports. I get it. I understand. I'm like, this is exactly why people don't be respectful in sports. So then this is what I always happen to tell people: karma strikes, because I was still sitting there. I'm like, I want to see how this is going to sit up there and play out. Because I'm like, it ain't this. I'm like, this dude is not better than me. He got me on some BS, straight BS. Again, like I said, I take my L. I'll hold it highly. I'll take my L. But again, he got me on some BS. And to further prove that fact, when he went later on in the tournament, he got washed 3 straight. 3 straight. And that dude was mad. And I'm like, yeah, because you were just trash. I'm like, I'm just going to sit up to be honest. The stuff that you were doing, it realistically, it should not have flown. It shouldn't have flown at all. It just really should not. But like I said before, it is what it is. But now this gets into the fact of the tournament. So GameStop say you can only use their controllers. During the last part, the most important part, where it was E Honda versus a Ryu, or Ryu, as some people like to say. The quote-unquote GameStop controller, it magically cut off. And I'm like, see, that wouldn't happen if you had an arcade stick. You don't have to worry about a controller cutting off during a tournament when it doesn't have a battery hooked into the back of it. You don't have to worry about that. Matter of fact, again, you don't have to worry about it when it's an arcade stick, because there's no batteries. There's nothing to really be disconnected. It's all strictly, it's one cord from the arcade stick, other cord into the system. And then they had to reset that. And I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, that's some diabolical work. So I'm like, this dude was about to win the whole set, but the controller magically had an issue and they had to reset that. I'm like, wow. I mean, the dude, he still came back and won, but I'm like, that's crazy to me. But like I said, this is why I always had a problem. This is why I always respected Evil and everything like that, because you can come there however you like to play. That's how, even if you could play on a keyboard, right? You got some people with arcade sticks where it's nothing but directional button inputs. And that's actually a lot quicker than the normal arcade sticks. And in some instances, people want to actually ban those because of how you can basically type in the lack of latency, right? But like I said before, Evo is dope. That's where you can, really prove and show a lot of the work that you've done. Also, shout out to any of the guys out here that roll through and go to various states and arcades and hit up different tournaments, either if they're local majors or whatever it is. Shout out to y'all. Like I said, that is hard work and dedication. That takes a lot of energy. That takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of confidence to go out there and do that. A lot of confidence. A lot of confidence. Let me see what we got. Bomax said, "Come on, brother, let's cut to the chase and be honest with every Black American. White Americans are jealous of Black Americans. I mean, that's already been stated on the channel. I get what you're saying. That's I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I've stated that before. It's not even just them. It's a lot of people, that are in a sense jealous, envious of Black Americans. It's a lot. It is a lot. So that is true. That is factual." Miss Anderson said, "I finally put my studio back together. I downsized it. Oh Lord, but you still have both the Mac that you have, and you still got the regular PC though, right?" Ty said, "I be forgetting to stream." Yeah, Ty. Yeah, you could be streaming too, brother. And when I was on Twitch, Ty was like one of the main people that would roll up, and he would just be sitting there and talk. We have Ty in there, Hack, Tippy would be in there. We had a few other people as well from the channel that would roll up to that on Twitch. So shout out to everybody that's pulled up to Kick, other platforms that I've gone over and tried streaming on. So Kick and IG, TikTok, and what's the other one I just said, and Twitch. So shout out to y'all for pulling up to those as well. BA said Fatal Fury beta is out. Oh, it's out today. Oh snap, that's crazy. That's some diabolical work. What is it? Because I just saw like the notification up there. Let me see if I can swap my vertical sources real quick. So I'm going to. You just added me on my other one. I gotta actually expand this real quick. I really hate that this is so small. This is crazy. Hold on, let me see. Let me just. I gotta swap the inputs over. That's the life of having like one screen at this moment. Okay, so that's from something else. Okay, what was it? Ty just sent me that. I got you. Let me swap accounts and let me add this brother here. Okay, logged in. Where did my notification go? All right, gotcha. I'm actually shocked that Xbox let you put that up there. The 304. I'm shocked. I'm shocked they let you do that. Let me follow that as favorite, and then I gotta add you to the one I'm mainly active on. Let me see, since she 304. All right, let me scroll back over. I wish I could just do this all from like one thing. Just make it a lot easier. Let me see. I should be able to find you. There we go. So essentially, you'll see my other profile. That's the one I'm logged into right now. So I just sent you this is the main account that I'm like highly active on at this moment in time. Oh, that man got me beat by years right now. I'm a little bit mad. This man got 18 years on deck. I would have been up there, but I couldn't because I think during the time I might not have had, because I got like a Xbox 360 a little bit later. But if I had my original account from like Xbox One, I would have been on there since like the, what was it, high school? Shoot, what was that, like 04? 04, 05? Like I would have had a gamer tag like since then, but I wasn't able to do it during the time. So here we are, Much love, respect, and wait, I'm missing a whole bunch of what's the names here. Let me let me see what we got up in here. Much love to Mahoko. Much love for the $10 dono to the channel. You said thank you for all the streams. FGC can be toxic, but I just humble folks who troll and teabag by picking happy chaos in strive. Yeah, it can be it can be quite toxic. It can. It can. Like people will get mad. But the same thing also happens in shooters as well too. Now I can sit up there and tell you that I can be toxic when it deals with like shooters. Like in a fighting game is different. Like if somebody happens to do like some teabagging or whatnot, then it's like, all right, now I got to sit up there and turn up. I'm talking about like when I did play fighters like that. When I played Soul Calibur and I played Astrov and I saw somebody doing a combo and I know the combo that they're doing and there is no type of like down forward input or motion for the move that they do and I see the character like teabag, I'm like, oh, you think I'm like, no problem. It's like, so now Astrov is about to become a wrestler. We're about to turn into Zangief and we're about to be choke slamming. We're about to be grabbing. We're about to be doing all types of stuff directly. Like this is when it's time to get real disrespectful, right? But normally I'm completely fine and completely cool when it deals with fighting games and stuff. Now shooters on the other hand, nah. It's too many races directly out there, and you gotta let people know exactly what it is. So this is why we got like the emotes. This is why we got the spray paints. We got all of these other things to be vastly disrespectful to a lot of people directly out here. Now like I said, I can admit that I have toxicity when it deals with shooters. I am there. I am there. Since she said pure person. Bars. Sham said, LOL, I find that a lot of gamers have really crappy personalities and communication skills. Now that's facts. Now I can communicate. I can communicate. I'm pretty, personable. I'm, directly out there, with people and whatnot. But yeah, Lord. What Miss Anderson says, she's at Call of Duty. I'm good with the team, and I'm not at home to go into my list at the moment. First of all, we're supposed to have a Call of Duty match because you said that you can beat me, but you was trying to set me up because you was gonna have somebody else play for you. So Miss Anderson, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this at all. I don't want to hear this at all. We were supposed to sit up there and play some Call of Duty, but during the time that we were supposed to play, I was banned. Some of y'all know the story or not of how Activision set up there and banned me. I did a whole video, showcased it, went over it during like a live stream, and they were trying to say that I was hacking. All I do is use a controller, and I'm on an Xbox Series X. I'm not on PC or anything like that. And I specifically stated to people like, hey, if they really wanted to show proof of cheating, then you could actually show my records. If I was purely a cheater, then I would have like infinity headshots. I would have all of the camos, directly unlocked for every, single weapon. I forgot what the camo would be. Was it like blackout, whatever, or was it galaxy? What was it? I forgot. Whatever the last camo is for like all the guns when you complete all the camo challenges. I would have had all of those. I ain't had none of that. I didn't have headshots with every single weapon. I don't have 100% accuracy. And I primarily use LMG and shotgun. So how I'm basically cheating, I have not a clue. I know a lot of people are ass. Just to be real. Hold up. Hold on, give me 1 second. Gotta open the door. All right, there we go. All right, I'm back. Say, yeah, just a smaller room. Mahoko said, I actually just got my leverless delivered. I said delivered today. Gotta go practice. Hey, nice. See, I'm trying to get like y'all. That's all I'm trying. I'm trying to, get like y'all. I got to upgrade. Miss Anderson got a whole setup where she got like the whole Mac PC set up, normal PC, got the PS5 and everything, just out there. It's crazy. Like I said, I'm trying to be like y'all when I grow up. Cole said the whole world is against us. Bars. You said, so is it better to game stream on Twitch or YouTube? I'll sit up there and say that you could do both. I would actually advocate for anybody that wants to do video games. You can do both. They have tech directly out here where you can multi stream. You can use Stream Labs. You can use StreamYard or Streamlabs, and you can stream to multiple platforms. So just like right now, how I'm talking to you guys on two different YouTube platforms at the same time, right? So on my end, we got 76 people all together in the live stream. But if you look on the screen, you got at the bottom, you got 20. You got 20 from the first channel, and then you got 49 from the second channel. If I have those in the correct order, right? So again, that's how I'm able to do that. Now, if you happen to use another app or program or whatnot, whatever, you could again multi-stream to 5 different areas at the same time. Now, I'm not sure if your connection may be able to handle it, but it is highly possible to do. So again, I would just say don't put all your eggs in one basket. Stream to as many platforms as possible. I would also say that if you are a gamer and you have a TikTok and you're able to stream on TikTok, do that. Because I've gone through quite a bit of TikToks where people are live streaming video games. Like there's a lot of brothers out there playing 2K right now. Some playing Grand Theft Auto. I've seen black women out there as well, streaming video games and playing Fortnite, playing Apex, playing Call of Duty, a variety of games. So, you got 2 different platforms where people are, actively watching. I would more so say use TikTok and YouTube. Because Twitch is a whole different beast. It's a whole different monster. They don't really have great discoverability for new content creators on that platform. So I would not advocate for that as much. But, anything is possible. Some people started from nothing and then they were just, making it on Twitch. So again, it's possible. It's a individual type of thing. But I would just say on a more consistent, if you're looking for the potentiality to grow as a content creator, to get views, to have some type of form of consistency, I would say TikTok and YouTube. I would say those would be the 2 platforms to focus in on. Let me see what else we got. Yo, Sunkiss, what is up? Sham said, I don't like streaming because I do evil crap in my games like a psychopath. My audience would hate me. No. Like I said, you for it, whatever type of content that you like to do, there is an audience for that. you just got to find the right people. There is an audience for that. Like I said before. And for a lot of, people, don't get discouraged. Because you're going to have instances where you're going to have people showing in and out, or you may get like 1 or 2. Hold on 1 second. I forgot what my main train of thought was, because I was getting called in the background. But yeah. For whatever content that you want to specifically do, there are people out there for it. There are people out there for it. That's the one thing I told Miss Anderson. Like, yo, there are people out there. There will be, sitting up there watching you. Especially, like, yo, I'm telling you, for a lot of women directly out there, y'all don't even really got to sit up there and show y'all faces. The moment in time that people know that you're a woman that play video games, you're going to start getting more consistent views than what I would get as a guy just going out here playing video games. I can tell you that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I've watched a lot of female content creators who do video games and whatnot just start growing directly, over time and whatnot. So like I said, it's highly possible. Again, you can do faceless content. You can even just put up content where it's you playing the game. You may have to, like, let's say, edit some of the deaths that you have in the game so that the video is not as long. Like, let's say if you were playing like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, or whatnot, or whatever. Or again, you could just set up the stream and you could just put the whole duration of everything that took place and have it uploaded. Somehow, some way, somebody's going to find a video and they're going to sit through and watch it. I can tell you this because I literally have a whole nother YouTube setup where it is specifically for video games, and I wake up and fall asleep directly to video game content. That's what I do. And I also watch other people where they live stream video games and they play and, and different, stuff like that. And the main thing I told y'all before, like the moment in time that y'all happen to start a game channel, something like that, let me know. So that I can sit up there and pull up. Let me know the days that you will sit up there and stream and everything. And I'll sit up there and pull up. I will be there. I will try to be as consistent, as possible. Because again, doing content creation and stuff like that. But I will, be there to support and to watch your content. Because like I said, we all got to start somewhere. And I know what it's like to sit up there and do content and you just got a nice fat zero just sitting right there. So like I said, any little bit helps. And that is what I am here for. Since she said LOL, that's not even accurate. I've been on Xbox since 2001. No, I got you. Same here. I'm a little bit late on the comments because I'm trying to, catch up. You said, yeah, the same third gamer tag. Shaking my head. Ty said 0405. I forgot you were old. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy work out here. ILGO, what is up, brother? I remember some of y'all, I remember your YouTube names because I understand that YouTube does things and y'all have to sit up there and like switch names, but I remember like the faces in the pictures. You said, I never thought about what would happen if we were not there to be blamed for theft. Keep IP. Oh, keep up the boycott. Gotcha. Mahoko said, not gonna lie, Seiji and shooters, I definitely get crazy. I teabag the F out of people in games like Apex. Oh yeah. Whoa, Miss Anderson, what you talking about? I was scared. What are you talking? See, nah. Okay. All right. So all right, we're gonna have to set something up. See, nah, we can't. We're gonna have to actually set something up so we can sit up there and get this done. Because, like I said before, I literally played a game. What was it, last month? And I jumped on Call of Duty. What was that? I was like 35, probably like 35 and 10 or something. And I had a shotgun. That was it. Like I said, I primarily use shotguns and I use LMGs. And like I said, I primarily just do content and whatnot at this moment in time. I got on there and I was doing good. Now, again, I can't tell you if people were basically bots or not because, Call of Duty has been doing a lot of stuff. I just know what my numbers state. That's all I know. Come on, I'm scared. You gotta be. This is crazy work in a live stream too. That's crazy work. Ain't you at work? SYL said she's getting hers with ignorance is no excuse to break the law. She thinks she has the ultimate mom rights, but she's going to find out the hard way. I've been there. The court days don't play. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. You talking about the video earlier where I showed you about the young father and the mother. Yeah. Yo, Miss Armstrong, what is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. She said, hey, friend, I know zero about gaming, so when I heard teabagging, I was confused. It's a friendly form of disrespect on fighting games and whatnot. If you want to see the full effect of teabagging in action, You got to go to Halo, the classic days of Halo 3. Like the doll physics on there, when you would do that to somebody and their body would literally jump. Oh man, the amount of people that would get angry because you had like a split, like 5 seconds before the camera like zoomed out from you, and then you respawn back in. So you would just hear nothing but like the teabag just basically happening. You would just see your body jumping. I'm like, man, it's dastardly, but it'd be like that. Shout out to Halo 3. Yo, Michael said, good afternoon. What is up? What is up? What is up? Cole said, yeah, I used to play Days Gone. Actually, Brother Exile, who is another mod on the channel, he plays Days Gone as well. He also streams it from time to time when he got time. So yeah, Days Gone is actually pretty dope. Matter of fact, Cole, you could check out that brand new Days Gone update, which actually looks pretty dope. You might want to check that one out. Pink said, do you need a certain amount of subscribers for TikTok to do lives? Yes. Technically, I want to say yes and no. So Miss Anderson has a nice amount. I think she got like 1,000 or whatnot on TikTok. So she can go live. She's gone live before. On my channel, I think I have about less than 800 and I'm able to go live. I can, live stream and whatnot directly on there. But I think I was able to do it because I specifically went to them. I forgot where it is, and I would have to do a video on it. But there's an area that you can go in the background of TikTok and let them know, like, hey, I got a platform. This is how many subscribers that I basically got, yada yada yada, all this type of good stuff. And depending on what you got also on a different platform, that can also enable you to live stream quicker. So that's how I was able to be able to live stream on my my other channel. Technically, I could video, do some game streaming on that channel, but I'm pretty sure, I don't want to confuse people, even though I haven't put content up on that TikTok in a minute. So people probably wouldn't be confused, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm shooting, things around. I'm trying to, figure out some stuff, but I do have a setup for that if I decide to. But Ms. Anderson said, I believe it's 1,000 followers on TikTok. Cole said at Seiji Cool. He said, true. I was watching female gamers, especially the sisters. Yeah, they be sitting up there game. Like when they sit up there and like get angry, it's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And it's sitting up there laughing. Hack says Seiji 1v1. And wow, I bet you won't. I don't even play World of Warcraft. But the one-on-ones that they do have is actually pretty dope though. That's pretty dope. This man said jokes. Cole said, I was better in Ghost Recon than Call of Duty. The funny thing is, for Ghost Recon, I actually like Ghost Recon Future Soldier. That was out on 360. I actually love that shooter because you can put together guns. You can basically Lego, your guns together, and stuff like that. Cole said Halo had racist players. Yeah, they still do. All shooters still got racist players, and I best believe when the brand new Battlefield comes out, it's going to be like Battlefield 3 all over again, and I'm waiting for it. It's going to be like the Wild Wild West. It's going to be out during this presidency. I'm waiting. I am waiting because that's going to be nothing but content. It's going to be nothing but content. Sham said, LOL, it'd be a lot of racist players, but from experience, when people find out your sister, they change straight to sexual harassment. Why I set rules, I don't take free stuff from strangers. Yeah, that it does happen. Like dudes will sit up there and like switch up a lot of times. If, like I said, for the white boys out there and the others that are non-black, they'll start, using slurs all throughout whatever. But then when they actually understand who you are, now they're going to be very specific. And then if they find out you're a girl and you're black, it's pretty much, it's going to be quite a bit. Sham said, I had a lot of dudes always trying to give me stuff. I'd be like, I can play. I don't need free stuff. Oh, you talking about like Apex and Call of Duty and stuff like that? Yeah, guys will do that. Yeah. Hey, like I said before, at least you get assistance. Let me tell you this, because if you're a guy and be like, yo, I need some ammo, I need this, I need that, your team ain't nowhere around you. They are light years. They're in a whole nother galaxy at this moment in time. If you're a girl and sitting up there playing and you sit up there and say like, yo, I don't got this, I need this, people will sit up there and drop like 99 different types of ammunition and weapons you didn't even need. Matter of fact, they will clear out their whole loadout specifically for you. They will do that. Like I said before, hey, glory to the winner. I ain't even mad at it. It is what it is, Ishmael said, where is this image from? Seji just hopped in. This image was from a video. I didn't put it up. I just had to blur out the aspect of the weapons that the young men were basically holding, because again, they're not even legally able to hold those weapons for all intents and purposes, and they're doing this in broad daylight. I don't know where this was specifically at, where it was taken. I can just list to you that it was in the hood. And I can tell you it was in the hood by how calmly the cars were still moving and how calmly these young boys were sitting up, these teenagers were sitting up there moving through the streets with these weapons. Crazy work. 100% crazy work. Cole said, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait either. Like I said, there's a lot of games. A lot of games. Lot of games. Michael said, white boys are always trying to show off being racist in public. It's like the guy who spelled out ninja on Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. And especially like if you got a group of white guys and there's one white girl in there, oh yeah, they all gonna be trying to posture up. They're gonna be so loud. They're gonna be trying to. It's some crazy work, and it's even worse when a lot of these white dudes are in lobbies and they know that a girl is there. I'm like, can we just play the game? I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, if you wanted to date somebody, like, do this off the game. I'm like, we're just trying to play the game right now. We're trying to be focused. You trying to sit up there and like do all of this other like unnecessary stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Mark said it's the Beatles. Yo, the funniest. Oh, that's crazy. I just thought about that. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a good one. That was a good one. Sam said, yep, I had dudes dropping even rare stuff that you pay to get in game. The problem is if you take that stuff as a sister, a lot of them stalk you or act like you're married to them now. Yeah, those are like the incels. But I would say if you're talking about like some Counter-Strike, well, I'm not sure if you're talking about Counter-Strike. But if you're talking about like some Counter-Strike and they giving you some weapons for free and they got skins, you better go into that Counter-Strike marketplace and you better find out how much that stuff costs. Because I didn't know up until recent times that the skins, the camos on Counter-Strike are worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands of dollars. I didn't even know it. And I'm like, man. That's crazy. Now I understand why people spend so much money on those loot boxes on Counter-Strike, because you got a chance. If you spend 100, you may be able to get a camo skin that might be worth 15 grand. It's crazy work. Didn't even know it. But like I said, the more you know. Kodog said GTA is the same way. Ishmael said console cheek clapping. Yeah, console cheek clapping. That's what people be trying to do about here. That is what they be trying to do. But the craziest part is I'm not sure if a lot of those dudes are aware of the ages of the people that they may be talking to. So that's a whole nother problem and an issue directly within itself, because ain't nobody checking IDs out there. Let me tell you that. Because you got a lot of these, especially during the times of like the Xbox One and the 360, you had a lot of girls that were on, their dads or their brothers or their little brothers like Xbox, just sitting up there just playing just because. And you didn't know what age of who it was that you was talking to. Because on the mic, a lot of people can sound grown. Especially if you got like a crappy mic or whatnot, a lot of people can sound grown. And even now, even more people, because you got voice changers. So it's crazy work. Sham said, I didn't even know that either. Yeah, same here. So like I said, just putting you up on game, letting you know. Also, there's a lot of other games that people can make money directly off of and from too, by selling either accounts that you've leveled up, or by ways of, if you're good at MMOs and different things of that nature, and you can pretty much get somebody to level 1 through 50 real quick. They got websites that people have created where they get paid, anywhere from like 40, 50, 60 up to 100 or a few $100s to level up somebody's account. Because a lot of people want to play the game, but they're not trying to do all of the hard work. So you got people out here that want to reach the prestige, but they don't want to do all of the hard work. So they'll go to these websites and they will hand over their information, pay the money, and they'll let somebody else play their account for them to get them to that prestige while they're sitting up there working. Like I said, there's a multitude of ways for people to make money out here. Cole said they know and don't care. Sam said yes. They don't ask your age. Luckily, I'm an adult. When I'm on the mic, I sound like a little girl because I have a mouse type of voice. It gets worse if they think you're a young girl. Oh yeah. Oh, don't be. If you were on PC with the same voice that you got, yo, this is. Oh man, let me tell you something. If you really have that voice in real life, you could literally set up a How to Catch a Predator console edition. You could literally do that, and it would work. It would literally work because you got a lot of those dudes up there that actively try to seek out young girls or whatnot or whatever, and they're trying to talk to them and all this other type of nonsense and shenanigans. You could literally set that all up and have that as content. Like I said, just a thought. Just a thought. Not saying that you're actually gonna be calling the police on people and doing all of that, other type of stuff. But I'm just saying, like you just highlight, like, hey, this person right here, a grown dude, trying to talk to you because they think that you're like a preteen or whatnot or whatever. And it's like, you just put that out there. Just a thought. Just a thought. We're in 2025 right now, and we got my boy Chris Hansen back out here on the streets catching people. So it's looking pretty grand. It's looking pretty great for 2025. Just saying. Michael said, I'm so tempted to use a pay per buff on GTA 5 just to play in peace. Yeah, I understand. I understand. I was just talking to somebody about that recently, about how you could just like go through GTA, play the story, and you got people that'll just come in and try to ruin your game. Sam said, yeah, I got a really young voice. Telemarketer called me and asked, can I speak to your mom? I'm like, I'm an adult. I think I've known only one other person in life that has a voice like that, I think. But this is the good part. You are forever young. Just look at it like that. You are forever young. Forever young. Because you got, other women out here like I've, showcased directly off of Twitter, and some, women out here sound like they've been, smoking like charcoal and Newports for like the last 100 years. And it's tough. I'm like, voices, massively deeper than mine. I'm like, man, maybe I need some more testosterone. I need to, start doing something. I got to start eating some steaks or something. So like I say, you are forever young. That's the positive. That's the silver lining, when you look at it. That is the silver lining. But what I will sit up there and do is, because I keep saying this over and over again, so I'm going to actually do it as I'm talking to you guys now. So after the stream is done, I'm going to have a post up there, and it's going to specifically state, it's just going to ask a simple question. Would you be interested in seeing video game content? Like I said, just to in a sense take a quick poll to see where people are, and different things of that nature. So yeah, so if y'all happen to see it, it'll be on the community side on the front page. I'm sitting up there actually typing it out as we speak. Let me see, how many are gamers? How many of you are gamers? And wow, I misspelled that. I'm glad I didn't showcase that on live stream. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Yeah, how many of you are gamers, and how many would like to see gaming content? Let me see. All right, there we go. It's just gonna be a plain text. I ain't really gonna put that much directly into it. I'm gonna put my little guy directly down there. Let me see. Let me switch to that, and yeah, let me make sure to. Let me see. What I want the text to be. I'll just put it in green, I guess. Green for all. And then we got the back of it is black. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Hopefully it will show up completely. It should. Because yeah, I'm just gonna upload that now and put it up there. How many people we got up in here? We got 65. So shout out to all 65 people that's currently here at this moment in time. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but you guys are here with me. Much love, respect, and appreciation. So I'm going to, and this is well, technically I would actually have to put it on both channels, I guess. But anybody that's listening, it's first going to be on SEIJIHITO, the second coming. So on that community post, you'll see it directly up there. Oh, that was my other cat. So you'll see it directly up there. Let me see. Okay, yeah, actually. Oh, wait, I gotta edit the preview. Okay, there we go. How many of you are gamers and how many of you like to see gaming content? All right. Let me see. Just a quick. Let me see. I want to see something. What should I type it as a post? Hit the like button and leave a comment. All right, there we go. See, that's pretty easy. So yeah, I got that uploaded on the second channel, and even though I know this probably won't work as I would like it to work, because you got people that can also pass by and see it, and they may not be subscribed. So, you know, there's that. Let me see. Go to my channel. Let me go to post. I could have made that into a, yeah, I could have made it into a poll. It's whatever. I just upload the image. But yeah, I have that on both channels, because I've been saying this for years. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sit up there and make this post, you know, so I can see, like, you know, XYZ and yada, yada, yada. And I forget to do it. So yeah, for anybody that will, you know, come through there, you know, just leave you know, a like directly on there, and you know, hit up the post with a comment or something like that, and we can pretty much get a good account on what's going to take place. Like I said, even if it's about like 30 to 40 of us, that's good. We'll you know, figure out a selection of games to sit up there and play, you know, try making some series and different stuff. Like I said, different types of content, diversify. And this is one of the other things that I've also advocated for a lot of you guys to do, so that you don't get pigeonholed or, you know, stuck on a certain type of content. You can diversify and do many different things that, you know, interest you, right? So again, you know, just putting that directly out there. What we got? Telemarketer Shem said, I'm going to be 70, sounding like I'm 12. Yo, that's a positive. That is a high positive. And then you're 70 and you're playing games. Yo, that's dope. That is cool. And let me tell you, there is a market out here for those of the older generation that play video games. There's this this older guy. He's a veteran and he plays Battlefield. I forgot what his gamer tag was on Twitch and whatnot. And he's dope. Like he puts in work when it deals with like Call of Duty and Special Battlefield. And that dude is dope. And I sit up there and like watch that dude sit up there and live stream and play games and whatnot. And he has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. So like I said, for anybody that's an elder, it is never too late to get directly into video games and to venture directly into social media. There is a market for you as well. In a lot of instances, especially, like, yo, you could grow, like your growth could be like hyper. It's like something like explosive. Because that's something that we, you know, a lot of people, including me, we don't get a chance to see that. We don't get a chance to see a lot of people, the older generation, coming through and putting in work and playing, you know, video games and enjoying themselves and whatnot. So, like I said, you know, it's a nice thing. Big Chop, what is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Al Sabah, what is up? What is it? Vikiko? I might have mispronounced that. But what is up? What is up? What is up? Hack said he plays a sniper. Yeah, yep. Hack said OPC guy. I think, yeah, does he play on PC? I think he might. I think he might play on PC. You said I've heard of him. Yeah. Yep. Sham said LOL. I'm not 70 now. I'm about your age. Why y'all do that? See, I'll be taking stuff for like face value. I'm thinking like, okay, well, this person's actually, you know, who it is they said they were. So, you know, I'm sitting up here taking it as like as face value. I'm like, man, see, y'all be sitting up here getting me. See, this is what I'm doing. So now it's even more of a reason, Sam, why you should be directly out here gaming and putting stuff, you know, directly out here. Forever Young, you can put a variety of different content directly out there. Like I said, there's tons of other YouTubers and other streamers out there that can give examples. There was also one girl that played Overwatch. I'm not sure if she was Asian or not, but she was good, and she played what's the girl's name on Overwatch with the robot with the suit? I cannot think of the name. But I think she's the character on Overwatch. She's Korean, nationality wise, she's Korean, and the girl was so good that people claim that she was cheating. Like she was so good, guys are like, "Nah, she's cheating, she's hacking, da da da. She can't be." No, she was better than you. She is better than you. It just is what it is. There's been times before I've had girls sit up there and beat me in Call of Duty. They might have been good at quick scoping. Quick scoping is the only thing that really will just do something vastly different. Because, like I said, I'm up close and personal, so I use a shotgun. Quick scope, people just like split second, see you, bow. That's it. That's it. Like it's out of there. I used to be able to do that, not as accurately as everybody else, but I used to be able to do something like that back during the Modern Warfare 2 days when you had the intervention and the 50 cal. It took a while to get used to. It took a while to get there, but I was able to do it. But then I just, you know, stopped doing it because I liked more so playing with the shotgun and the LMG, more so because it gets on people's nerves. You don't really hear people screaming and crying when you get them with an assault rifle, SMG, sniper, pistol, or whatnot, or whatever. It's more so if it's a riot shield, an LMG, a shotgun, or a rocket launcher. That's when people really start crying. But yeah. But yeah, so I got the it's not more so a poll, but I got the picture directly up there on the front of both pages. So that's both on SEIJIHITO, the Second Coming, and on the in the original channel. So take a look at that. Hit the like button on that post. And also leave a comment. Let me know what type of games that y'all are into, what type of games, or if y'all play PC, console, whatever it is, and if y'all would like to see that type of content, because you guys will be sitting up there seeing that pretty soon. But anyways, love you guys a lot. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here for a grand total of 3 hours and about 6 minutes. Our brother's about to go sit up there and eat at this moment in time, and probably figure out something to play or whatnot. And again, for anybody that doesn't want to sit through, of course, a long 3-hour live stream you just got here, I will have this in a shorter format, more so in between the ranges of 8 minutes to 14 minutes in a short video format that you can go through yourself. Sham said girls make really good gamers, especially if it's games where perception skills, we make good snipers, we're good at RPGs, MMOs, and problem solving games too. Yeah. I got one girl on my friends list, Mia. She is pretty good at fighting games. I've been playing fighting games against her since Soul Calibur, should have been 4 that we were playing. Soul Calibur 4 and Street Fighter 4. Been playing video games with her for a very, very long time. Very long time. And the amount of stuff that you still would have guys sit up there and say, or how guys will sit up there and switch up when they find out who it is that they talking mess to is a girl, they tone start getting real soft. They start talking like they on the phone, call like one of those 1-800 numbers or whatnot. It's crazy. It's some crazy work. The change in temperature that takes place. Crazy work. Crazy work. Soldier M said, I barely got into World of Warcraft. No, same here. I was never one of those people. I saw World of Warcraft, but I was like, nah, that's not really, for me. But I did get into other MMOs. Like one MMO that I did play was called Shia, but this was like way back, like 20. This like in the early 2000s. I want to say like 2010, 2011, 09, type of era. Then another one that I played, but they discontinued for the terrible game that was called Marvel Avengers. You had Marvel Heroes. That was a great MMO. I think it's still running on some private servers at this moment in time. But when Marvel Heroes was running, that was a great Marvel comic book type MMO. You also got DC Universe, which is still running too. So, putting it out there. Baby said, since she said great freaking game. Yep. Bars. Baby said the Beatles is LOL Sgt. Pepper. Yep. Tariq said, oh, you're starting to write like Barber versus directly in there. I'm a little bit confused on. You said DC Universe was trash though. Hey, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Leo said, just sub, much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm not sure if you sub to the first or the second channel, but either which way, much love, respect, and appreciation. And if I do start up the gaming, I'm not sure if I'll have it in the vertical format. I may put it in the widescreen format. We'll experiment. We'll see basically how that will, work out. We'll try, both formats. But also much love, respect, and appreciation for subbing to the channel. Michael said, I'm good with gaming content. My algorithm is overloaded with Orange and the South African Voldemort's gaming games are relaxing. Like I said, I got you. Like I said, it would just be us in here, and we'll just, I'll be going through the game trying to, figure some stuff out and, talking to you guys. I will try to moderate the comment section because, of course, you'll have trolls just decide to pop in there and just say anything. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out and fixed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to all 53 people here. Love you guys a lot. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here and staying and listening to me for 3 hours and 10 minutes. And also staying through the advertisements. Much love and appreciation. Love you guys a lot. It helps feed the channel. But yeah, I will catch you guys on the next live stream and or video. Peace out. And also it's about close to Friday. So yeah, go out there, go to the movies, go play some games, get your feng shui directly in order yourself some good food or something, and be at peace. Until next time.